Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Hall of Gamers podcast. This week, I'm joined by the lowest completion percentage man, Cameron.
Whoa.
Oof.
I'm playing golf.
Yeah, and, well, okay, right, yeah, lowest score wins.
Yep.
And the highest completion score man, Shane. And I'm somewhere in the middle there. Also, you have a cat in the background there?
Yeah, is she around? Oh, yep. Okay.
Aww.
Her tower's like right behind me, so she's gonna be dining as we.
Don't worry, I'm going to completely lose focus and just kind of.
It's okay.
zone
Pets
in on
have
the cat.
never ever caused an issue on Real Gamer Score, all Hall of Gamers Pod. Like
No,
it's
exactly.
never been an issue at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we never get distracted
No,
or
not
have
at all.
loud noises or anything like that.
Or
we don't-
puppets or anything like that. Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, exactly. All right, well, let's get into the song of the week then, Cameron. What do you got?
Something that I haven't heard.
Oh, for fuck's
uh,
sake.
Playing on the stream. How can I entertain? Hey, into the chat. Time to play a game. We are always boosting for the achievement. Always looking up the scores, playing for achievements. On and on, we're scoring up again. Never slowing down, there's always someone just in front of me. Is it any fun trying to be number one? Is it ever done trying to be number one?
I don't know it. Chat saying High School Musical.
What? Why is chat saying High
Oh, if
School
it's-
Musical?
I don't know.
it's-
That's true. I
it's-
definitely don't know it.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely not High School Musical.
Yeah, I'm not the only person wrong for once. Woo. What is it? Put us out of our misery.
The song is "Walking on a Dream" by Empire of the Sun.
Oh,
Yeah. Nope.
that is a horrible rendition.
Oh,
I'm
come
sorry.
on! I didn't put a lot of reverb on it, right? Like, what am I supposed to
I
do?
mean,
don't have any
I
music.
mean, that's entirely what they do with it.
Yes,
Empire
yes,
of the
it
Sun.
is.
I was just like, I didn't want to say I knew it because I was gonna make a fool of myself, but I haven't heard an Empire of the Sun song for, God, like what, 5 years?
I mean, this song came out in like 2008, so
God, now I feel old.
yeah, I was gonna
Forever
try.
ago.
Yeah, Simone in the chat points out that she needed more time to guess it. That's fair. It's hard for me to try and come up with lyrics for an entire song. I think I did that for a couple of songs where I basically just did the entire thing and people still didn't get it. So,
Did they ever have like any number ones or?
I don't think so. I mean, in terms of like this, like that's definitely their biggest song. think they
It
have,
kind of
like-
just feels like a song that, like, if TikTok was big back in 2008,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
what it would be.
For sure. It's the yeah. I think they had, like what We Are the People on that same album. I think was kind of their
Yeah.
That was pretty much it though. Yeah, I don't know. It just sort of the suggestion came from Charlotte because she was listening through a couple songs and she was like, oh hey, yeah, you know, here's something. I was gonna try and do well, originally I was gonna try and do Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth, but I couldn't quite get the lyrics to work.
Oh,
That's too
might have gotten
soon.
that one.
Too soon.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with I was like maybe not. That's especially with the latest news.
Oh, get right into the news. Okay.
Yeah.
Smash Mouth is no more.
Yeah, basically, unfortunately, that's the sad news.
I guess it's better than a Data Remembers basis apparently hitting somebody in their Tesla a few years ago and then it just being swept under the rug.
I mean, if you want to get
Only
into
when you're
controversial, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's
right?
just do all the controversial music news this week.
Yeah, welcome to Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
Welcome to Celeb Talk.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's get through the housekeeping so we can actually get on with the show proper. Discord. Discord.io/RealGamerscore is your place to come hang out with us in our community. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically a big place where you can come and chat, talk about the podcast, talk about video games, take part in our competitions. We've got a silly chat for memes. We've got a serious chat for, you guessed it, serious stuff. And, you know, pretty much anything you could. I think there's a Magic the Gathering channel in there somewhere for some real fucking nerds. But yeah, it's just a great place to hang out and like talk about stuff. We've got a lot of discussion going on there this week around headsets and like what makes a good headset. And then, you know, people have differing opinions, quite strong differing opinions. And we've also got our partnered server channel where you can come hang out and look at all the other people that we work with and hang out with, like the Achievement Hunters Anonymous, one of our favorite sister channels, which is part of the reason we have our guest here this week. But we'll get to them in just a moment. We're also doing this show live on Twitch. Hall of Gamers Pod is our name. If you don't know what Twitch is,
They're just a website that links their entire API and
I was gonna say it's the latest open source trend. Basically, we stream the show live every Friday, 8:30 p.m. roughly for New Zealand time. Work that out whatever time that is in your locale. With the exception of next week, where we're going to have another AHA fan on.
So it's fortnightly. It will be changing fortnightly.
Oh, fortnightly.
So at least next week, and then 3 weeks from now, we will be doing it on a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. my time.
Yes, which is what I was just about to say. Thank you. So next week we're going to have a bit of a shift up. We're going to be recording on the Saturday morning instead, just to help some of our lazier guests who can't be bothered getting up at 4 a.m. to record with us.
I have kids. I
know, right? Responsibilities. Who the fuck? It's like fucking video games and podcasting. What are you doing, mate? You might get some anime in there as well if you're a fucking weeb. We've also got our Patreon.
Or Magic.
Or Magic, yeah, exactly. Patreon.com/Hall of Gamers, where you can come give us some money, basically. It's an ongoing subscription where you choose the amount you want to give us based on a couple of tiers. And that allows us to do competitions, pays for upkeep, equipment, distribution, things like that. It allows us to keep the lights on. Yes.
Twisties, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Doritos.
Not Maxibons. No
Maxibons. No Maxibons until they give us a sponsorship.
Yeah, I've got news about that too.
No. Okay, well.
Okay,
well, but I think I can guess. Considering you're not eating 2 Maxibons at the same time right now, I can probably guess what the news is about the sponsorship with Maxibon.
Training order, probably.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Why do you keep calling us? Go away.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you keep showing up outside the office? Basically, if you sign up for the Patreon, you also get access to our competition. Cameron, what are we doing with that?
I haven't even checked it this week, to be honest. I've been really on the ball. I watched the movie. I did my homework for that.
Yes, yeah.
Have you watched the movie? All right, cool.
I did. I watched it last night.
We haven't recorded an episode yet because I've been waiting on you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do a podcast called Lights, Camera, and Action, which is basically Cameron and I talking about video game series that have movies made about them. We talk a little bit about the movie and the series it's based on. We go and watch the movie and then come back and we regale our Patreons with our thoughts. Spoilers, most of them are fucking terrible.
Except for this week, which was apparently really good.
It was actually, again, I don't want to spoil it too much, but Dead Rising Watchtower might be the best movie we've watched so far. Maybe it's actually, we'll see. We'll give some more thought when we record in the next couple of days. But yeah, so you get access to all of those episodes. The first 4 are on there for free for you. If you want to get an idea of the quality level of the content we put out. But everything else after that's under a paywall.
P.S. Small disclaimer, the first 4 episodes are absolutely doghouse where we try and get our act together. Everything else is good behind the paywall.
True. To be fair, the quality has only gone up. The movie quality has mainly gone down, but the production quality is gone up, at least when we kind of figured out the structure. Cameron, have you found out what you're doing for the contest that you run each month?
So the contest that I run each month is the Patreon draw, which is essentially a community challenge where everybody gets to pick out of a pre-selected games that we heard through the grapevine that they were good. So don't blame us if they're trash.
We don't have taste.
Yeah, so. we don't have taste. We're achievement hunters. What's taste? What's fun? But essentially for this month we picked Castlevania Advanced Collection, Elder's Blood Definitive Edition, and Golf Club Wasteland, trying to keep more of a darker vibe to it to coincide with Halloween. Surprisingly, Castlevania is not winning anymore.
What?
Golf Club Wasteland is ahead with 4 votes.
All right. Okay. Hey, man, the Patreon's the one to give us money, so we'll just,
Yeah.
I'll bow to their wishes. I don't care. I'm a total whore for that. That works.
Yeah. So the winner will get Golf Club Wasteland at the moment, unless it changes by the end of the month.
All right. Well, yeah. So we'll draw that basically on the last week of the month. So
29th.
Not next week, but the week after.
Wait. Yeah, 29th. Yeah.
29th. Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Now what? Oh, sorry. Actually, okay. I'll mention the word challenge. It got guessed within the first week. I'm still not happy about it.
I'm not happy that I could have guessed it. I could have taken the money from my own podcast and put it back into another episode of my own podcast.
But that's fine. Whatever. You get your $20. Ruin it for everyone. Maybe try and space out your guesses next time. But whatever. It's fine. We'll come up with a new one for next month. And I'll give it a shout out on the show with my next unhelpful clue. I'll try and make it super unhelpful because people are guessing it too fucking quickly.
Yeah, you're too nice. Do what Kirby does. Just absolutely be absolutely
just give people a number and be like, figure it out. Anyway.
Number 9 appears in this game somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. All right. It's Fallout 76, but the 6 is upside down. Let's get into talking to our guest there. Thank you for being patient there, Shane.
Okay.
Who are you? Who are you? What do you do? Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, back in 1987, my parents met. And
maybe a little bit more recent than that, just a little bit. Like we don't need the long.
I haven't prepared graphics for that.
Exactly.
Oh.
But somewhere between like the last 15 minutes of you sitting there quietly while we deal with the fucking housekeeping bullshit that I need to shorten, and when you maybe got an Xbox and started video gaming or something along there, somewhere in there.
I've been gaming since I was a kid. My dad hated it, of course, but he still bought us the games, strangely enough. I actually was falling out of gaming when I started achievement hunting in 2000. Let's see, my daughter was born. Yeah, 2009 was when I started achievement hunting. And I honestly probably wouldn't be gaming much if I wasn't hunting at the time. So yeah, I pretty much got an Xbox 360 in I want to say October 2009, and I mean I haven't looked back, obviously, and here I am. So nothing's changed much. I just game every day and work and do all that fun stuff.
I mean, you're selling yourself short a little bit there. You have a 99.6% completion percentage, and I'm assuming that's DLC included, right?
Yes. Oh, of course. I'm a real gamer. I mean, come on.
Okay. Good.
Controversial takes.
I was about ready to hit the mute button, but no, that's fine. Okay. And you've got a ratio of nearly 2, which for someone who has such a high completion percentage, and you've nearly you're at over 800,000 gamer score.
I think I'm getting close to 900, aren't I?
Yeah, you're like 864,000.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy, especially with a completion percentage like that. I mean, like I harp on about completion percentage all the time because it's the reason I play video games, is because I like ticking things off of the list, right? How do you choose obviously this is something that you're doing intentionally. You don't just happen to be the best at every single video game you've ever seen, right?
No, absolutely not. There's not a whole lot of rhyme or reason to the madness. I'll do what I call an easy week, and I'll play games like one of your previous hosts, Red, and just play a bunch of garbage for a week and blow through a game a day or 2. Other times I'll go for something more challenging and, decide, hey, I really want to scream my head off for a week or 2 and at this game and try to get it done.
I thought we were using Valak as the baby gamer metric now.
Oh, is Valak it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he's kind of the Valaking. I haven't Valaked in a while. Oh, I guess I did Valak recently, but it's just how the mood hits me. I mean, I don't really have any rhyme or reason to it. Obviously, I don't play anything with unobtainables if I can help it.
Right.
There's only one game on my tag that I have put on there purposely that didn't have that had achievements I couldn't get. So.
Wow.
What game was that?
That was Aquazone.
Okay, yeah.
Aquatic fish tank simulator or something like that. I don't know.
Okay.
I only did it because I saw that everyone that had it only popped it in and got the first achievement and then called it a day. I'm like, well, I can do better than that. So I went and got all of them and took forever. That game is a nightmare.
Okay, so I guess the question is, right, so you're sitting at, you got 0.4 of a completion percentage to get. Do you have it on a whiteboard? One of our old hosts on IGS had his completion workload on a whiteboard behind him, saying, okay, here I'm going to cross this off, circle this, move this to this list. He was very organized about it. Are you well aware of the games that you need to finish?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a whiteboard because it's 2021 and I have true achievements, but I'm down to.
That's what we said too. Yeah.
I mean, I've got 14 games currently that aren't complete on my tag. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have unobtainables I'll never be able to finish, and the rest are just games. I mean, a lot of these have been getting achievements added lately, like Phantasy Star, Overwatch, of course, forever, Fallout 76, Graveyard Keeper. I've got that.
I think you're safe with Overwatch
on my tag.
now.
I gotta work on. So
Overwatch, they didn't add the new achievements.
I hope so.
They didn't add new achievements in for the Halloween this year, so I think you're safe. If
I
you
saw
finish
that and I'm like, ooh, it'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I've got left are the archive. Well, I think they're called the archive missions.
Yeah.
The World of Warcraft style ones where you gotta be super coordinated and really good at the game. And
it's fine.
Yeah,
we can
hopefully
run
I can
through
finish
it
that this year. I got close one time. The guy died at the final enemy. I was so bummed. And it was even worse because they had stayed behind to help me do it. They're like, "Oh, we have this, but we'll help you." And we tried like 3 or 4 times. We were there a couple hours, and the final enemy rammed someone into a wall and took him out, and that was it. I was like, "Oh no!" So someday I'll try again. Hopefully, maybe they'll make them year round. That'd be nice. Like as they're burning and sinking, they'll like just toss them up. It'd be really nice.
I don't have any other standouts. Any other standouts that you're like, oh, hey, I should probably get back to that, or this is going to be the one that breaks me?
Well, it was Solitaire, but I got the base completion finally done this week. So,
oh, wow. Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, so I just got to finish all that stupid added stuff, which might take a while too. We'll see.
A little bit.
There's that one achievement that's just going to be into Microsoft's hands whenever they feel like releasing an event where we can actually do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I've been looking at it. I'm like, well, not happening this month, so I guess we'll wait for next month.
I checked every day. I just checked before you guys called me. I was like, let's see. And nope, not today.
Yeah.
Not today, Microsoft.
Yeah, I've been working on a little bit of that, just working on the extra achievements for that on the event stuff, because it's just like, well, I got to rack up 100 of these bracelet things, I guess. So I'll do that now, and then just sort of sit there and wait until we get a couple of expert modes and a 10,000 event, which will probably, like a 10,000 event would be like, okay, you'd probably be like 30 or 40 different things you'd have to do.
Yeah, I'm worried about that one because I have a full-time job. So coming home and I'm going to have to blow through that and before bedtime, that's going to be rough.
Not great. Yeah, I'm with you. I guess the other claim to fame you got is that you have like a ridiculously long achievement streak.
There it is. Yes. I knew that was coming.
So 3,218 days by my last count. Okay, well, how kind of seems like a stupid question because it's pretty obvious how you do that.
Well, I turn on the Xbox.
Yeah, right.
Play a game.
Right. But, okay, so maybe the better question is, why?
There was, God, what was that achievement? The Achievement Hounds, I think was the podcast it was called. Yep. And I was kind of fishing around. This is pretty early on, obviously. I started this streak in, 2012? So I was listening to their podcast, and I can't remember his name or his gamer tag, but Kyle something or another on that podcast. Mm-hmm. He had mentioned that he was trying to do an achievement streak. This is before TA had the system in place. And I thought that sounded kind of neat. Like, I play games enough. That just means I have to make sure I get an achievement a day instead of just playing a game. And yeah, and that was kind of it. I mean, this is well before, I can't remember when TA implemented the system, but yeah, I just play enough where I was able to do it pretty easily at first. Obviously, God, it's been almost 9 years now in a couple months. So obviously there's been a lot of things, like there's been hospital visits, there's been road trips, there's been power outages where, yeah, that's been a lot of actual effort put into it at certain times. But for the most part, I'm a huge nerd and all I do is play video games. So, I mean, I'm usually able to keep up with it.
Yeah, like so this, I mean, at this stage it's grown beyond just like, oh, I just happen to play enough and I get it right. Like, it's very, you obviously have a conscious effort to make sure that it's happening.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, well, again, almost 9 years in, I have a panic attack that's like 11:30. I'm like, oh god, oh
Yeah.
no, I haven't got an achievement yet.
Do you have contingencies in place and backup stuff and ready to go? You know, when you need to pop something, you're like, oh shit, like I've got this stacked away.
Yeah, no, I mean, the nice thing is, back when it was just the 360, I wasn't going out a lot, so I was always home, and I was either at school or I was a stay-at-home parent, so I had plenty of time to get my achievements. Now, of course, I have a full-time job and a social life, so I'm out a lot more. But on the flip side, the Xbox One has a stupid amount of easy games to finish. So, yeah, my contingency is jump on, buy a quick easy game, and get an achievement if I need to. And cloud streaming makes it even easier. So
True. Oh man, I remember going outside.
What's outside?
Grass, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Is that the Badland?
the COVID cases have only been going up, so I've been like, no, I'm gonna
The
stay
graphics
more
are
inside.
terrible. Just don't bother.
Frame rate's just an absolute fucking nightmare, and there's way too many hostile NPCs.
I'm in North America, so the winter updates coming. No thanks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, seasons change everything apparently. We got a question that's like, do you take your Xbox on when you go on vacation from Simone?
I think I've done that once. I used to travel a lot more than I do now. Back then, I mean, I just took my Windows Phone, which is nice. Yeah. Now, of course, I have streaming. I was just on a week-long vacation early September, and yeah, I just cloud streamed Stranger Things all the time. It makes it so much easier.
I guess on a vacation, do you just stream, get that one achievement, and then call it for the day, or do you actually?
Yeah, I've had people go like, "Don't you go on vacations and enjoy it?" I'm like, I just jump on for like 5 minutes, get a quick achievement, and go play on the beach for the rest of the day. Like, it's not a huge problem. So
you only need one achievement to keep the streak going, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I hate doing that if I can help it. So if I have free time later in the day, I'll jump on and try to get more. But yeah, I mean, I got plenty of time. It's 24 hours in a day. I don't sleep much on vacation. I don't know about everyone else, but I'm usually driving. So yeah, I will literally wake up before everyone else, wash my face, jump on my computer and get an achievement, and then head out. So, oh yeah, I used to bring my laptop. Windows helps with that a lot too.
Right.
So
yeah.
We got some community questions here as well. Mike's asked, what's the one game you wish you'd never started?
Oh my god.
How do you pick just one, right?
Ones. Yeah, probably one of the incomplete ones. So
I was going to say with Aquazone too, there's still people in the Achievement Initiative trying to fix that at the moment. They've done some really interesting stuff.
Amazing.
But it's whether developers and publishers are going to push it out.
Yeah, the problem with Aquazone, I think, is the one you just said, was it's got DLC that just never released. That's included in the base game. So good luck ever getting that fixed. That's not like a patch you can do.
There's a lot of stuff that they've done.
I can't say that one. Oh, I've seen. Very impressive. I hope they hit one of the few games I need to do someday. It'd be really nice. I guess I would say Magic Duels, just because that was such a drag, and I worked so hard, and I put it off for said trips, and I kept blowing it off until I finally started working on it hard, and I was maybe a week away from getting that final 500 daily achievement, 500 daily event achievement, and they shut the servers down on me. So screw that game. I would definitely take that one off.
Yeah. Fair. No, that sounds like some absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
What game did you start because people said it was super easy and then you actually struggled with?
Any racing game or sports game.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
you.
I'm like, oh, low ratios. This will be great, and then just rage for a week. It's great.
Yep.
Love it.
Racing games are the best. I don't know.
Racing games are fine. They're just way too fucking difficult.
And that's why I haven't done that eFootball game that just came out. I'm like,
yep, same.
Everyone's like, it's easy, but no thanks. That's probably not going to be easy for me.
Chances are they'll add achievements to it later as well. I fucking hate that.
Absolutely, especially nowadays. So, nope, I'm good.
Do you do the thing that I do where it's like, okay, game comes out, and you're like, I need to do a bit of research around this game and this developer and see if they're going to be putting out some more achievements for it later, or if it's just going to be like, oh, it's a one and done, and then they're moving on, and I'm safe to go in and finish it and just never think about it ever again.
I mean, I used to do that, and I'd also kind of go on what kind of game it is. Like if it's a platform like they do nowadays, probably gonna get more achievements.
Yeah.
But God, Graveyard Keeper keeps getting achievements. They just add achievements to Terraria after 6 years. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it anymore.
Solitaire, they're just throwing out achievements everywhere for every game apparently. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide back in my 360 where they don't update games anymore.
Actually, yeah, that has been the nice thing about going back to my backlog. I'm like, when those games are done, they're fucking done. Like that's over.
It's okay. They'll release.
Yeah, I'm a troll. I'm a troll. Yeah, exactly. I'm a troll. So I always hope they like add one anniversary achievement to the original Gears of War or something.
Oh god.
Great. Or a non-backwards compatible game, even better.
Yeah,
so
great.
I just want to watch everyone
I love it.
lose their minds.
Oh god.
Insert Joker meme like.
I got so fucking pissed off with the Solitaire thing because it just came out of nowhere.
It really did.
Are there any games that you were embarrassed to admit that you've played?
Who am I talking to?
He's played Just Dance. He's fine.
Oh, I played. Yeah. Oh, I played My Horse and Me too. And Achievement Hunter go. Oh yeah. That's cool.
Obviously, of course you did.
I sold it for $90. I mean.
Yeah, there you go. I think I've still got my copy sitting around if someone wants to give me $90 for it.
Yeah, but I'm talking to like a family member, and I
go,
oh, I played. Yeah, I mean, you might as well, right? But no, if I'm talking to a family member, I'm not gonna go, hey, yeah, I played a Barbie Puppy Adventure or whatever it was called, and like, why? Like, I could. I don't know.
Look, you could go full troll with
the first 10 minutes.
Play the game and then do like a 5-page review on why it was the best game you've ever played. Really pull the community in.
I'm sure they'd love it.
Barbie pulling that puppy's thorn out of the puppy's paw really spoke to me on a deep personal level. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess any kids games.
Yeah, there's a few.
Anything by Outright Games.
Yeah,
Paw Patrol, PJ Masks.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I saw PJ Masks just came out for pre-order.
I'm so excited. I legitimately am.
Of course you are, you fucking weirdo. Valak asks, who's your daddy?
God, I don't know. If you can find out, tell me.
Yeah, exactly, right? As long as it's not him. Robbie asks, what's the most rage-inducing game you've ever played?
Oh God, I'm gonna have PTSD for this one. Battlefield 2, I'm gonna say. That game. Ooh. Oh, or Perfect Dark.
Oh God, I need to
both
do
of those were rough.
Shit.
Yeah, Battlefield. Asked me a year ago which game I would have regretted playing. It's that one because I thought I would never finish that game. That is definitely one of my proudest completions.
You got to get all those stars, right? The exemplary achievement.
Yep.
It's probably that's probably going to be the toughest achievement on my tag to get.
Every time I join a party that
Retro accuracy.
and Mike are in talking about Perfect Dark, it's just like you can just hear the amount of soul just drained out of them. Just like, do we have to?
Yeah, that was a game.
Do we have to?
Oh yeah, I put Perfect Dark on my tag the summer after I got my Xbox. I was like, oh cool, N64 game. I'll try this quick. And then became an achievement hunter later, and I hated Past Chains so much. so much. But I finished it, so it's all right.
Yeah, I have this thing where, when I go to look at a game, I look at who's played it just so I get an idea of like how many people have finished it, how many of them do I know, and also where their skill level is at. And I kind of like slot myself in there a bit. I'm like, oh, Red's finished this, I can do this. But sometimes it's like, Valak's done it, Mike's done it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of maybe where I'm at. They're maybe a little better than I am. And I'm like, oh, Firehawk's done it. I'm like, well, I mean, of course he fucking has. I mean, like, it's just like, that doesn't count for anything.
If it gets on my tag, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. I'm like, fucking, the man probably didn't sleep for a week. I'm like, I'm not quite that crazy.
Yeah, I get bad about that where I'll be one more time, and it's 4 a.m, and I'm just pulling my hair out and like, I gotta go to bed. I'm going to bed now, and then sleep, and then I'll usually just do better in the next day.
Yeah, totally understand that. It's a real sickness.
Yeah, totally.
He also asks, like, do you have like another like a completion that you're really proud of?
Oof. Battlefield 2 is definitely up there.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark's up there. Max Payne 3, get back to me in 2 years. Well, I'll put that on there. You watch.
Fuck you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I know. See, I'm scared to do that one. Speaking of rage, because oh man, if my game freezes up on me before the end boss fight after I finally made it, whew.
Yeah. I was having a bad enough time with just the regular New York Minute. Doing it on hardcore and losing all their progress just like sounds like the worst thing in the entire world to me.
I haven't even finished my first hard playthrough. I literally was like, this is dumb. I don't want to play this anymore. So I'm not looking forward to higher challenges. Battlefield 2 is definitely there because I think that's probably the biggest gap between first achievement and final achievement in my tag. Just because I thought I was never getting that done. That was totally written off. It might as well have been unobtainable, and then I finished it. So definitely up there, if not number one.
He asks, Robbie also asked, have you any like really close calls when it comes to losing a streak that you can think of?
One, if we're not counting like Windows Phone sync issues and stuff like that, which has happened a few times, there was one time where I was at a bar at like 11:50 and hadn't gotten an achievement. And I called my wife and I'm like, there's a game called, I forget what it was called. It's some plane, you walk around a planet or something as a little alien. And I'm like, load it up, just play. I'm looking at the list. The first achievements real quick. Just play, please. I'll be home. I actually made it home in time where I might have been able to save it myself, but she did save my bacon there and give me my achievement for the night.
Coming in clutch.
Oh yeah, my wife is super supportive. It's weird. Like, if you know this is like fake numbers, I'm not getting paid for this or anything, right?
Yeah, it's like, none of this is redeemable for anything.
Nope. Someday they're gonna turn the servers off, and I'll be like, "Oh no, what have I done?"
Like, oh wow, I have to go outside and do things, and well, I guess I'll move on to the PlayStation platform.
Just walk outside.
Rub
And just like, I'm free.
And then
that's when you get blinded. Like, oh, this is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh. I mean, by that stage, it'll look like Mad Max outside anyway. So it'll be like, oh, cool. I'll get to use my survival skills that I've learned.
Yeah, put my goggles on and spray some silver paint in my mouth and go to town. It'd be great. Can't wait.
Exactly. SDK asks, any games that you feel just aren't worth playing?
Racing games. I think I said that.
Sports games. No, go. Okay, I'll get behind that.
I'll accept racing games excluding Forza Horizon series.
Ugh.
I need to play one of those so badly.
They're so good.
I mean, the new one looks good.
Every time I get around to it, they're unattainable.
Yep, they keep shutting down the servers.
Or discontinued. I'm
not if you know the right people.
Because I got Game Pass.
Not if you know the right people.
I've got Game Pass, so I'm very tempted to just jump on 5 when it comes out and be like, sure, here we go. I'm going to do one. And then just buy the DLC as it comes out and get it done.
Then you'll get your first round of Eliminator, absolutely hate it, and then curse my name.
I hate it anyway.
Yeah, true. I don't think it's going to get much better, Cameron.
Yeah, video games set me off. I don't know what it is about it. I'm a chill guy, but even Animal Crossing will take me off. It's like, that stupid fish got away again.
Fucking sea bass.
Freaking sea bass.
Lefty asks, which uncompleted game would have been most likely to complete? And which one would he most like to have removed from his count? I mean, it's the same question, but...
Yeah.
Wait, what was the first part?
I'm trying to read. So Lefty posted this question: which uncompleted game would he most like to have to be able to complete, and which would he most want to have removed from?
God, Lefty, learn how to phrase a question.
Jesus Christ.
I just copied this straight across.
Homefront would be great. Because they really screwed me there too.
God, that would be fan-fucking-tastic.
Day of, I was setting up for the session to finish that game, and the servers went down for maintenance, weekly maintenance or whatever. And I'm like, okay, we'll get back to this later. And they never came back on. So that would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the main one. What was the second part of the question?
Are there other ones, like, are there ones that you would just rather have just removed from your account, even if you could finish them?
Controversial opinion, no. If I started a game, I want it on my tag. That's one of my favorite parts about the achievement system. So, no, I mean, none of these games that are stuck on my tag right now are games I didn't start myself, because that's happened a few times.
Sure.
But no, I want to keep them all.
Fair enough. Cameron, what's this thing about best titles?
So I just pretty much put in a little thing of like, what do you think your best, your best titles are in terms of like ratio? Like, what are your best games on TA?
Ratio.
Like,
What I think, or what's on the list? Because I haven't looked in a while.
Yeah. Can you take a stab at what's on your list, and see if you can get any?
God, see now with all the updates though, I'm sure Solitaire's up there, probably one of the top ones, if not the top one.
Solitaire's
on
full.
there.
See, last time I looked, it was before all the updates started happening. So it was like Battlefield and Far Cry 2 and Hexic might have been up there, and Luxor. Now, God, with all the updates, Graveyard Keeper might be there. That wasn't that super popular.
Nah, not Graveyard Keeper.
How about one of the old ones? How about Far Cry 2?
Far Cry 2 is actually not that high. I think it's only like a 4.2.
Not up there anymore? God, it used
Not
to be up
really.
there.
It's really dropped. Like, I mean, I finished it, so it can't be that.
You got to think at the same time, like games that are very widely available in the community because of Game Pass and stuff like that as well.
I don't know, a lot of Game Pass games I've done that weren't like super easy completions. I'm gonna have a major trouble with this. Maybe it's a rare game. Maybe no, those aren't super hard. Perfect Dark. No.
No. Actually, I'm surprised at Perfect.
I'm
Dark
gonna get
isn't
stuck to
high.
this.
I can.
Yeah.
All right, I can give you a hint.
Yeah, go for it.
Um,
Yeah, please.
the same game appears 4 times.
Minecraft.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's so that's
Okay.
1, 6, 9, and 10. Christ.
Jeez. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I don't even get it.
Yeah. See, that's gonna be hard to do. I've played so many games. I was worried about getting any kind of specific questions because I don't remember half the games I played.
Do you want me to go
I've
through the
actually been
list?
talking. I want to do a series and just go through it. Yes, please. I will
Alright.
never get these. I bet.
So we'll go from 10 to 1. So Minecraft on 10, Minecraft for Windows at number 9, Game Room at number 8, which I'm surprised.
Game Room's still up there. Wow.
Yeah. 7, Human Fall Flat, which I imagine is just because of all the DLC, all the
That's weird, but
not
okay.
DLC updates.
Title updates, yeah, because they're free, so they get included in the.
Fair.
6 would be Minecraft for Android. 5 is Overwatch Origins. 4 is
Yeah, I guess I should Overwatch.
Yeah, Overwatch is always high up on the list, just because I think that's the common thread though. Like games that have multiple like free updates are gonna appear higher up here. Microsoft Solitaire Collection, Dead Rising 4 at number 3.
Yeah, the
Really?
DLC. That's strange. Yeah, although I mean, like, it has a ridiculously high ratio. Because I looked into it because I have a I don't know if I still have a copy of it sitting around here, but
Because it was in Game Pass at one point as well. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was. I think that's why I played it.
Yeah, Zoo Tycoon Ultimate Animal Collection.
yeah.
Because there's 2 versions of Zoo Tycoon, isn't there?
I've got the 360 version started on my
Yes.
tag, and it's one of those games that I wish I never played because I realized how much I hate those games.
Wait, you don't want to run your own
Oh,
zoo?
the 360 version was broken.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I played a bit of it. I'm like, wow, this is bad. And now it's on my tag, and I'm like, I've got like 4 achievements in it, and so it drags down. Like, it always shows up on my like, oh, what easy game should I work through? And it's like 2 pages of just Zoo Tycoon and fucking.
Because it's
Like-
so easy, but it lags so badly on 360. It was almost unplayable at one times,
Yeah,
and it just gets worse.
So I'm looking forward to going through that at some stage.
Try doing Black Ops 3
Oh, have
on
fun.
360 for like 9 months,
Yeah, no, I'm good.
and then complain. And then Minecraft.
Number 1, yeah, Minecraft 360 edition.
Yeah.
So of all those games, only Dead Rising 4. Oh no, Overwatch is kind of tough, but Dead Rising 4 is the only one that requires any kind of skill. Wow, that's kind of sad.
Does Dead Rising like I
God.
haven't played in that long. Dead Rising 4. How much skill does it need compared to 1 and 2? Because I'm just
The
thinking
DLC is
like
kinda tough.
7-day achievement.
I mean,
Yeah, but
4 is a lot
actually
more
not.
actiony. I mean,
Yes, like the 7-Day Survivor is not a difficult achievement. It's just a fucking annoying one because it works in 2-hour increments. So
Yeah.
you got to keep the thing running for 14 hours,
yeah, let's say 14 hours real time. Oof.
Yeah.
That was rough.
and you got to be watching it as well because you'll die otherwise.
Yeah, you sure do. So,
Or you know, you go into, like on the 360, you go into the food court on day 4 and the game freezes because there's a bug in the game. So I remember reading the guide. It was like, whatever you do not go to the food court during this hour-long period here because it will literally freeze your game and you can't save.
Jeez.
I loved it.
Yeah, that was rough.
But doing that game twice was pretty bad. Actually, I did it 3
still have
times.
it. I still am planning on doing it.
I mean, it's a great game. It's a fantastic game.
I'll have the series completion if I ever get around to that and the Windows version of Dead Rising 4, which I think is unobtainable.
Yeah,
so.
Windows 10 has an unobtainable, and I mean, Capcom Vancouver is pretty much dead in the water, yeah?
Pretty much, yeah.
So.
Oof.
They got gutted.
4 did not do them any favors.
No, it did not. Was it Hank East? Was the joke? He was pretending because he was pretending not to be Frank West, so he was Hank East.
Oh, such a good game series, and then they just burned it to the ground. The monsters.
I love 3. 3 was my intro to it, and just
Really?
4 was just not.
It's
good.
very fun.
3's pretty good, but I think like I have a real nostalgia for 1. We talk a little bit about this on Lights, Camera, and Action as well because we obviously watched the Dead Rising movie that's set between 2 and 3. But like I think like 1 is like my favorite as like the aesthetic because they were like, this is a crazy fucking idea. Let's just do it. And 2 was like they smoothed it out a lot. They added in combo weapons and made the AI not completely brain dead. The survivor AI, I mean, obviously the zombies are still literally brain dead. And then 3 kind of was like, oh, people don't like this whole timer mechanic, so we're just basically going to take it out. And I wasn't really a huge fan of that, but
that's probably why I like it so much.
Still a good game though. Yeah. And then 4, I didn't even get around to playing because I heard nothing but bad things.
Yeah, I just had to do it because I do love the series, and I was like, I'll do it. And I believe it was on Game Pass, which is why I also did it. And it was leaving soon, so I was like, I'll freaking do it. And then it was my poor baby. What did they do to you, my son? I love the second series, like the second entry in the series. So
with,
like 2,
Chuck
Off the Record, Case West, Case Zero. Yeah, those games, I love those. I'm always hoping they'll do like a bloodstained version of that, where someone will make pretty much the game, but newer and with more stuff, but the same style. Because I love that. I love those games so much.
Deceased Ascending, yeah, it's like with Dead Space and what was it, Negative Atmosphere.
Yeah, I would love it. I love it.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd play the hell out of that. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Shane. And telling us a little bit about yourselves. I think we might transition into the news. Cameron, what have you found for us this week?
I thought you were going with the first story.
I can go with that one, sure. So this is something that I happened to pick up yesterday when I was just looking around for some news. Again, how much of this is a news story and how much of this is just, making up news for whatever? Electronic Arts may be dropping the FIFA license for one simple reason. It costs too much. FIFA is a sports game. And it's also an organization that does football or soccer, depending on how wrong you are. They're also massively corrupt, money-grubbing assholes.
EA or FIFA?
Both, actually.
Okay,
to be fair, they're really made for each other. It's a partnership made in hell. But FIFA is basically one of the biggest selling games in the world. It's huge worldwide. It's one of those things that just has mass appeal. It's the Call of Duty of sports games because fucking apparently everyone.
How long were they making PS2 versions of that game? I mean, jeez.
Yeah, exactly right. Real, and obviously it makes them a lot of money in terms of like Ultimate Team and microtransactions. Like it was the perfect vehicle for that because the normies love it. They also have NFL and NHL and other bits and pieces, but FIFA is the one that brings in the money. Apparently, it brought in 1.5 billion in 2020.
Jeez.
So
it'd be interesting to break that down further too, to what's into Ultimate packs and what's actual game sales.
Yeah, well,
that's most of the packs.
I was going to say that 1.5 billion is from extra content sales, so that includes Ultimate Team and a few other bits and pieces. But yeah, that's not even including the game sales themselves. So they make a crazy amount of money. So it is interesting to hear that the EA is thinking about cutting ties with FIFA. But basically, they've come and said they did a press release last week and basically said, as we look ahead, we're exploring the idea of renaming our global GA sports football games. which means that we're reviewing our naming rights agreement with FIFA. Apparently, FIFA wants double what they've been getting in order for EA to use their naming rights on their games and to have FIFA included as part of the game itself. And apparently it would cost them basically about $1 billion for a 4-year cycle between World Cups. So, yeah, $1 billion for the rights for 4 years is a lot of fucking money, even if you're making money hand over fist. They're still in negotiation, but I think EA basically come out and said that, hey, you know, they're willing to walk away with it. But they still have exclusive rights to the UFA Championship League. I think it's like the Premier League. Basically, a lot of the European football leagues they still have access to, even if they lose the FIFA license. So it's not like they're just saying, "Oh, we're just throwing it all out." But the article points out that it might be less that EA doesn't want to pay that money, and more that, well, FIFA might go to someone else like Ubisoft or someone and say, "Hey, guess what? You want to make a football game? You can use the FIFA license for it." And obviously,
Oh God!
Can you imagine that? Yeah, it's just fuck it. Yeah, I can just
Messi climbing towers.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to climb a tower to do a bicycle kick, and something has the eagle noise. He jumps into a haystack. And to be fair, that might be the closest we get to a Splinter Cell game. Like Sam Fisher will show up in it.
Could you imagine the skins?
Oh, well, you can imagine the horrific microtransactions to the nth degree.
Playing FIFA with Sam Fisher skins. Oh God.
I mean, I'm liking this idea more and more. But I mean, again, they could go to
really
anyone.
Sold me on this.
They could go to anyone, but it's not just a question of, hey, we want to have FIFA as part of our game, but we also don't want our competitors to have FIFA is also important, because that's really what kind of fucked up PES, right? Was that they didn't have those rights. I mean, again, a lot of things fucked up PES. They're part of Konami.
What if they walk away and call it EA Football?
I mean,
we've got eFootball and EA Football. No confusion whatsoever.
This is EA Soccer. Can you imagine them releasing it as soccer? Oh my God, people would lose their fucking minds. But yes, they're gonna say they're gonna they talked to Peter Moore, who was the former EA Sports boss over there. I think he did like Halo back in the day. So I think he has like a Halo 2 tattoo on his arm. He was part of Microsoft back in the day. And he actually left to head up Liverpool FC. That's another sports thing for those who don't know. Yeah. Basically, so the EA may be concerned about where FIFA's license ends up if it agrees to narrower exclusivity terms, which is why they're willing to walk away from the whole thing rather than share. I'm going to say, wait a second, you've literally spent hundreds of millions of dollars building this, and you're telling me that Epic Games can come in and get a license to the name that we've built and then put front and center and have that synonymous with our games? And so then they say, yeah, absolutely not. We're going to negotiate that. So, it's the exclusivity is really going to be the key thing for EA. And if they can't get that, they'll say, fuck it.
That's really interesting with the whole discussion of like likeness in that in games too. Because you basically, you're buying all the marketing around the name, the established brand.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though it is EA's established brand, it's not really, is it?
It doesn't. Yeah, it's licensed to them. I mean, they still make the game, but there's nothing stopping someone from, if they agree to a more open agreement for, like they said, Epic, or like I said, Ubisoft, or someone to come in and say, hey, we want to use FIFA as well. We'll give you $250 million for it, and they'll be like, sure, great, easy. That's less work for us. We also have more leverage. So next time we go back to EA, we say, well, Ubisoft's making a football game. Maybe we just go with them. They're willing to pay.
What have Ubisoft done in terms of sports games?
My
mind just immediately goes to Just Dance.
Yeah, sure. I guess
that's the closest thing I can think of Ubi.
Well, like sports games have basically died on the vine, right? The only other competitors are like PES from Konami, and then the 2K series. So
I mean, 2K so much money. Well.
Yeah, well, it's like they have the exclusive license, and it's like, how do you compete with that? And like, apparently this is how you compete, is when they get too greedy and it gets too expensive. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, there's not much probably really to say about that. I just kind of wanted to bring it up as just something I hadn't seen reported anywhere, so I thought it was just interesting. Cameron, do you want to get into what's actually on the news though this week?
All right, cool. So we're all us Call of Duty players are dirty cheaters. Apparently.
I mean, And
Yeah, exactly. So I got an email, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, basically just saying, well, to all you dirty cheaters out there, we know who you are, and we're going to be introduced, like teasing something. They've actually come out today and revealed Ricochet Anti-Cheat, which is going to be a new initiative from them to combat cheating in Call of Duty Warzone and Call of Duty Vanguard. Which I think is very optimistic that they think that people are going to be playing Vanguard, but no, nevertheless.
Oh, come on.
Did you see the?
They will.
Yeah. The beta for both Battlefield and Call of Duty did not go across well with fans.
But I feel like it's like a love-hate relationship or abusive because they'll be like, "Oh, this is the worst. I guess I'll go buy it now."
yeah, I'm gonna buy it, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
I'm gonna do it with a frown on my face.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very upset about it. Yes, also I would like the hardened edition with the steel bookcase and like all the other bits and pieces, please, because I want.
Oh, that skin's pretty cool too. I'll get that too.
Yeah, he's like, no, actually, no, this game's not too bad. Actually, I was like, well, I put $500 into it. The game must be good.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, clearly. It's like it's a fallacy, maybe.
Yeah. So I mean, they are a bunch of dicks for sure.
Essentially, they come out saying they've got no tolerance for cheaters. Cheating in Call of Duty is frustrating for players, developers, and the entire community. They've described the anti-cheat as a multifaceted approach to combat cheating, featuring new server-side tools which monitor analytics to identify cheating, enhanced investigation processes to stamp out cheaters, updates to strengthen account security, and more. The features will launch with Call of Duty Vanguard and will arrive for Call of Duty Warzone with the Pacific update. On top of this, a new PC kernel level driver will be also available for Warzone and the Pacific update, and will assist in the identification of cheaters, reinforcing and strengthening the overall security of the server. So I'm guessing like a month after it will be back to cheats. It just takes one person in the community and go like, all right, cool, this is a weak spot, done. But
I don't know, Shane, do you play a lot of Call of Duty? I mean, I imagine there are probably a few of them on your tag.
Yeah, that's actually one of the few games that got stuck on my tag without me meaning to. Was my brother put Modern Warfare 2 on my tag back in the day, so I have played a little of the Call of Duties. I don't know. This all just sounds like, please stop costing us money and scaring away new people. While on the other side, the hackers are like, challenge accepted, and yeah, like you said, it'll be a month before people are flying around again, and they'll have to figure something else out. So. It's pretty standard stuff for them.
Like, I've been a massive Call of Duty fan ever since I started. I either started with Black Ops or Modern Warfare 3. And I only played for like a few years, like massively, like in the multiplayer stuff. And ever since 2, it's just been pretty shit, to be honest.
I did the first Call of Duty recently. There was no cheaters in that one. So.
Was there players?
Cool. I was like Call of Duty Classic. Great game.
Yeah,
Great
Call of Duty
game.
Classic.
No regenerating health.
No, I didn't see any cheaters at all. No flying people, nothing. It's great.
No. A lot of Nazis, but I mean that's kind of just that's kind of typical of whether you're.
So it's like real life. It's great.
I was gonna say really it's really just. Odrin in the chat points out, of course people will play Vanguard. Everyone's absolutely gagging for checks notes. Another World War II game. I think that's kind of the feeling, right?
I liked it when they did Infinite Warfare. Like, I played the campaign for that, and it was pretty good. Even though it was like the most disliked YouTube trailer
I was gonna say,
in history.
No one bought it. Everybody fucking hated it. Everyone was like, what the fuck is this space bullshit? It
was actually a really good game. If you took Call of Duty off it would have sold well.
If the achievements weren't complete fucking bullshit, I probably would have played it.
I mean, zombies, yes, but yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Zombies.
See, I find it funny that people are going to complain about Vanguard when, I mean, they're not just throwing money away. You guys, this is what you wanted. I don't know what, Again, it's like an abusive relationship. It's like, I'm giving you what you want. Tell me what you want.
It's so weird, though.
The YouTube videos, but buy it.
It's so weird, though, because we've got Battlefield, COD, and Halo all coming out. Mm-hmm. And pretty much the whole topic is just like, Vanguard is an absolute mess. Battlefield needs to be delayed. Oh my god, Halo was amazing if you're an Xbox player. If you're a Sony then it's just like, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. But
I mean, unless you want to play Forge or co-op, it's fantastic. Yeah.
yeah. But even with the Forge stuff, they were saying that people found leaks of like full-on scripting.
Yeah, apparently there is some good reasoning. I want to see what comes out a bit more about that before we do too much reporting, as much as we get into investigative journalism on this show. But yeah, it's funny actually because you've got Vanguard doing World War II again. You've got Battlefield doing modern-ish combat, and then you've got Halo doing space shit with aliens. And you're like, I mean, great time. I mean, all I needed was a Titanfall in the middle with some mechs, and you would have had basically every FPS genre taken care of.
Don't tease me with that. I fucking live for the day that we get a Titanfall free. Such a good series.
It'll probably be a multiplayer-only game.
I mean, yes. That's fine. That's fine with me.
No, it's not.
I did the first one. Sorry, I did all the achievements that matter in the first one.
Second game's where it's at. That campaign is so good.
I've heard the campaign for number 2 is amazing.
I would. That's
definitely a must play.
I was gonna say, if there's something you want to put on your tag, you actually want to enjoy. That's probably a good one to go with. The achievements are challenging, but not like you'll be fine.
It's like one challenging achievement.
I want to.
It's like one challenging achievement. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and you'll be fine. Well, yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say, but I think you're 100%. You guys are right. Like this, like the cheating thing is like this is they need to get out in front to be like, because all you hear about these days is like, when was the last time you heard something good about Warzone? All I hear these days is it's like, yeah, we banned like more people than the player base for cheating, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, great. So who's playing right now? It's, oh no, it's just bots basically. It's just it's
probably selective too. Like, has this player spent the $50 battle pass for this quarter? No. All right, cool. You've been convicted of cheating.
Gulag.
You'll need to be buying the access key to get back into the game.
Yep.
Yeah, ban the pores. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and ban the pores, eat the rich, anarchy for all. What else you got, Cameron?
You guys want to hear a really funny David versus Goliath story about somebody using somebody else's IP and finally getting credit for it?
I was reading about this. Yeah, please do.
So Epic has credited Innersloth for Fortnite's Among Us style game mode.
Oh boy, yeah.
I saw this and I laughed and I'm just like, wait, all right, cool. They're trying to buy something back to the community, even though Epic's like, what, how many times the size of Innersloth? Basically just going like, oh yeah, cool, we'll throw you a bone, the original makers of the game. What a joke.
Yeah, I don't know. For context, basically, Fortnite. We talked about this a few weeks back. Fortnite basically came out with an imposter mode, where it's very, very similar to the game Among Us, and basically came out, and there was a lot of debate around like, is it okay for them to do that? Innersloth own the Among Us IP, but they don't own the idea of like a social deduction game. We talked about like Mafia and Secret Hitler and Avalon and all that sort of stuff are card games and board games that existed for years that have been like, yeah, figure out who the bad person is. And it's like, okay, well, now they turned it into like a video game thing. It's not even the first one of that, but it was obviously the most popular. And should they give credit to the creators of the game, or is it okay for them to just basically create a new mode based on another game the same way they exactly did with Fortnite in the first place, where they were like, hey, this like PUBG thing's pretty fucking popular, and this King of the Kill thing's also popular. Let's just do that, but with cartoons. And suddenly it's the biggest game of all time. So,
did you actually ever play the original Fortnite, like before Battle Royale, or see what it was like in the tower defense mode?
See, you guys are talking about this Fortnite game. I remember looking at achievements for that. Isn't that 600-hour tower defense game? People are still playing that?
Yeah, yes. Save the World apparently or something. Apparently it's very popular. It's on Twitch all the time.
See,
a lot of kids.
I got a Steam key for it given to me from a friend. They got the founders pack for it, and I played a little bit of it, and I was just like, this is actually not a bad game. I can't wait for it to hit Xbox. And then, of course, Battle Royale mode, everything gets chucked in, and you see the achievements, and it's like, yeah, I think I'll pass. Even though I have quite a few Battle Royales on my tag, I might just give this one a pass.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, What do you guys think? Do you think that they should have, like, they're doing the right thing, or do you think that like kind of been peer pressured into it, or should have stuck with the guns?
I feel like it's a case of like after the fact of like you're much way too big for us to not run with this now. The community's pissed at Epic. They've just had the communication between their teams and just went, all right, let's turn it around.
It's nice of them to do.
Yeah.
They take.
I mean, it'll be nice for them to do it in the first place, though.
Yeah.
But do you think Epic would actually do that unless prompted by the community?
Well, I mean, clearly not, because they didn't.
Yeah.
Like it took the community backlash, and it took several weeks for them to basically credit them with this thing that they basically stole. I mean,
I find it so funny we talk about Epic in the same, pantheon as EA as being crooked when they that's so recent. Like Fortnite's so new, and no one really cared what Epic was doing for a long time.
Yeah, it was
Besides,
like I just remember them being
Unreal.
like, oh yeah, they're putting out the Unreal Engine, people using that Unreal Tournament and Gears of War, and you're like, oh, those are some great games. Epic,
game is prettier. Yay.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks,
Oh,
Epic.
if fucking Batman looks like he could fucking that. I remember when the original Batman Arkham Asylum game came out, and it was running on like Unreal 3 or whatever it was. And everyone was like, man, Batman looks the most jacked I've ever seen in my entire life. And
Oh my God.
because they were using like this is the game that made Gears of War, for fuck's sake. So it's like they were all just like massive beefcakes. And they, you get to the end of that game, and the Joker's there, and he injects himself with the fucking Titan stuff, and it's like
Spoiler alert.
I mean, yeah, sure. The Joker.
I was gonna play that this week. God damn you.
Well, you've got like 5 or 6 options to play it, so get on it. Fuck those combat challenges. And like, yeah,
just let me know.
I've done them too on a couple of versions, but like I don't know if I can do them again. I'm fucking bad at that game. But yeah, the Joker realized that he wasn't buff enough, so he had to inject himself with some shit to make sure that he got the full Unreal experience. And now suddenly you're right. It's like, well, now they opened a fucking storefront that everyone fucking hates, and like has like a Trello board and doesn't have basic features like wish lists and stuff and all that stuff that they were missing. That I mean, I remember when it came out and they're like, oh, we've got this like like a Jira board of like all the things that we're working on, and you're like, okay, well that's great. Here we are years later. And they're like, oh, the storefront's not finished yet. And you're like, you have more money than God. What are you doing? Pay some fucking engineers. But yeah, it's you're right.
I get that Carnage skin.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, to be fair, all of their money has been going to giving everyone free games, and then no one ever buying games on their platform. So I kind of get it. I
saw this beautiful like TikTok video today, and it was just like me at a developer conference, like showing off my game that I'm so proud of. It's like, oh my God, I absolutely love your game. It's so unique and all that. It's like, what do you think you'd pay for this kind of game? $2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your life's work, $5 maybe.
Just
maybe
like,
if it's on sale.
Realizing that noodles is a permanent meal choice.
Yeah. Keo points out in the chat that Epic are adding achievements to this. They obviously want people on their system, and they're trying really hard on it, but you're right, Shane, that they're just kind of like they've grown to that level where we see them in that sort of shitty way that we see EA and Activision being like, look at these fucking wankers with too much.
So fast.
So fast.
Instant. Like in a year, they're like, oh, the man.
So you're saying I could play on the Epic Game Store, get achievements, and be the number one there?
I mean, get good, because the thing is,
big fish, small ponds.
The problem with PC ponds that people keep pissing at them. With achievement unlockers and unregulated bullshit, because
true.
Like, I mean, look at Steam achievements, for fuck's sake. They're an absolute nightmare. But I mean, if that's what people want to do, I mean, that's one of the reasons I'm relatively happy with the Xbox system. Not that doesn't need improvements. Is that there's still a level of curation there. I mean, it's gotten a lot looser over the years, but at least they have rules in place and they keep track of it for the most part.
Yeah, at least the looseness is just how easy it is to get achievements, and not you're allowed to cheat.
Yeah, although
they'll still ban you so fast.
Yeah. Well, again, if
they catch you.
If they catch you is really the thing. They would at least they do that. But as the people are getting really sneaky about it, and it really feels like Microsoft has kind of dropped the ball a little bit on the cheaters stuff. But is what it is. They have other priorities, I guess.
Yeah.
What else you got, Cameron?
Talking about Among Us, we were meant to get a console release last month. Which, I mean, it hit Game Pass, didn't it? Back in September? No.
PC?
No.
Oh
yeah, it did actually on PC, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, back... That was... how long ago was that now?
Might have been August, maybe?
Yeah.
A month ago?
I feel like it was been longer. But yeah, the console version has been delayed, saying that it is still coming, but it is coming a little bit later than planned. And you gotta love it. It's just the old meme of... Look, I don't know names in Star Wars. I know it's the Star Wars meme where they're sitting down and it's like, we're working very hard on the next update, yeah? And there aren't any delays, right? Blank face. There aren't any delays, right?
Oh, it's, the episode was episode 2 meme, yes.
Okay, cool. I don't watch Star Wars.
It's Anakin and Padme. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it because it's the worst one of the movies.
Sand, right?
Yeah, sand. Yep, that's what gets. Yeah, complaining about sand and murdering women, native women and children is really what gets it going, apparently.
So yeah, they haven't given a launch date for the console version of Among Us, as they want to be 100% sure before it commits to a date, but they're still on track to release this year. I feel like this is going to release in December if it does release this year.
I don't think it will release this year.
I mean, it's a big gift.
Yeah, they're really missing the boat regardless.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Among Us is fucking done. That's super old news.
That's probably why they're delaying it. They're probably losing money and interest. And at what point do you just not? So.
I'm wondering what Innislov is going to do next after Among Us.
Well, they cancelled Among Us 2 because they were like, oh, well, people like Among Us 1 so much that we're just going to keep adding support to it.
I'm pretty sure that people yelled at them about it. They're like,
oh, yeah.
No, no, you're not doing that. We just found this one. We don't care if it's been out for a couple of years. We're playing this now.
Yeah.
So, pretty sure everyone threw a fit.
Yeah, that sounds like the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the internet's totally rational, level-headed.
Yeah.
It will be after all the humans die out. Yeah, it'll just be bots talking to each other.
I'll just be very interested to see what they actually do after.
If anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how do you follow up? I mean, like, what's Epic gonna do after Fortnite? Like,
I mean, do games have afters anymore? I mean, Fortnite.
Right. That's kind of what I
don't think
mean.
people are
right?
realizing
It's a game.
It's becoming Ready Player One.
Games with a service became more like fucking games with a job. Like, it was just like, well, I get up and I fucking play. I put my 8 hours into Fortnite to get my flossing animation and my Batman skin.
I feel like Fortnite's just going to be a platform more on than anything. Like, with the concerts and that kind of stuff.
I mean, they have concerts on there now.
Yeah,
they did the whole MLK thing. Yeah, it's true. It's. I mean, like, it's a way to reach people, and it's like, what do they talk about? Like, not multiverse. It was some other fucking thing that they referred to it as, where it was like, it's going to be a thing that like encompasses all forms of entertainment, and we could just inject shit into it, and it's like a platform, but like, it was some wanky marketing term that really fucked me off. But,
what, marketing people annoying other marketing people?
I was going to say, look, I still use ad block on all my stuff, even though I work in the marketing industry. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens. But yeah, it's like, how do you? It's like the difficult second album, right? Like, what do you do? What do you do after you hit it big? Like, how do you capture lightning in a bottle twice? Do you need to capture lightning in a bottle twice, or can you be like a one-hit wonder and just coast on that for the rest of your life?
Can't say like they don't have to. I mean, Among Us was nothing. It just happened to. It was some weird lightning in a bottle thing. There's no way they're gonna follow that up, if they even want to or care.
I was gonna say, like, if there wasn't if there wasn't a global pandemic, I'm sure like it never would have got the popularity that it did.
Yeah, I mean, it was still very popular.
Yeah, pandemic definitely helped
before that, but yeah, definitely gave it a longer tail, I would say.
I think it'll be like battle. What's that word? PUBG, where
PUBG, yeah.
Among Us might be the first, but at some point something way more popular is gonna come. Maybe Fortnite. Maybe the new mode's gonna be the thing. So.
Yeah. Could be. I mean,
know.
like, that's what Fortnite was in the first place, right? Just was that for battle royales, and we saw it with MOBAs. We've seen it with all the trends. I'd be interested to see. I mean, if I knew what the next one was, I would invest and fucking you'd never hear from me ever again. I'd go live on an island.
I would say you wouldn't be on this podcast.
No, absolutely not. I would
be so rich.
I would be so fucking rich. It'd be ridiculous. You would hear tales of me, but that would be it. And I would try not to end up like fucking not an antivirus guy. No, McAfee rather. John McAfee. Fucking.
I mean,
drugged out of my mind.
That's my life goal.
In Belize or whatever.
Yeah.
Goals. An idol we can aspire to.
Man, I watched the documentary on that, man. Holy shit, some stuff went down. Like, wow. the man created a little bit. Like the man created like his own police force that basically went around like harassing people on the island and shit. Like he took over a village. He was like, nah, bro.
Again, I'm hearing goals. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, I was like, all right, man. Like he had a nice house. I mean, he also apparently liked having women shit in his mouth, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, maybe not all those goals.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it's like, I don't think, there was someone was telling me I remember when the Tiger Woods stuff happened, when like all that stuff got leaked about him cheating on his wife, and people like everyone was like combing through it, like because everyone loves fucking gossip, and someone was like, because he was texting all these porn stars, like he was like sexing them, and everyone was like, they're porn stars, like they've already heard it all, like what are you like, you're not impressing them with this shit, and people were also like judging him for like liking butt stuff, and so I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, it's kind of expected, like once you hit a certain amount of money, it's like of course you're going to be just into weird shit, because it's like you have all the money in the world, who the fuck is going to say no to you? But him and I confirmed that we're definitely not in the butt stuff tax bracket. Like there's a whole like level of rich you need to be like, no, like this is my thing now.
I don't know. I definitely know people that would definitely disagree with that.
Oh, sure, but I mean in a way that would make it.
You can't bring it up in casual conversation.
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah, I collect stamps and I have a really nice Ferrari. Butt stuff's pretty great.
It's like absolutely, yeah, exactly.
Wait, so you're just saying that rich people just sit around talking about butt stuff all day?
I mean, they sit around talking about it while. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I mean,
why did I even open my mouth?
A lot of people went to Jeffrey Epstein's island. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of photographic evidence.
That took a turn.
There's a lot of like an alarming amount of people have been on the Lolita Express. You know.
I feel like this is a conversation you're getting pretty anal about.
It's okay. All right, moving swiftly on. There's some stuff happening with backwards compatibility, which always interests me. What do we know? What's rumored? What do we see?
Essentially, there's a rumor suggesting that Microsoft could be adding more games to the backwards compatibility program. Digging through the store data, they've seen some activity regarding older game titles, where 7 OG Xbox games were to be added to the Microsoft Store from the old Xbox 360 store in September, all with a strange November 30th release date. These titles include one of the best received original Xbox launch titles, which was Dead or Alive 3, Dead or Alive Ultimate, Full Spectrum Warrior, 10 Hammers, Gladius, Gun Valkyrie. Oh, jeez, I can't talk. Gun Valkyrie?
Gun Valkyrie, yeah.
Advent Rising and Chicken Little.
I mean,
yeah, and Chicken Little.
Chicken Little. Okay. I mean, to be fair, like Advent Horizon, like there's a lot of good stuff in there actually. Yeah. I mean, I'll never play them because they don't have achievements. Who has time for that? But
now, all things point to they're going to do some November event, and it's going to be a whole bunch of, hey, we've got these backwards compatible games coming out again, just to coincide with the 20th year anniversary. It makes sense. Because
I would think
what's the official date of the
16th? Maybe?
I know it's a date in November, but I wasn't sure if 16th was 360.
Well, it was this. I thought it was the same day. It was like.
I thought we originally said that it was the.
It was like November. Was it November 22nd?
Just having a look now. November 15th in North America.
Oh, okay, right.
Yep.
Okay, so
that's all that matters, right? I mean,
yeah.
Because the Halo Infinite, just to quickly butt in again too, the Halo Infinite console was meant to hit Australia on the 15th of November, but it's been delayed 10 days because of freight issues. Which, I mean, this day and age, not surprising. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving things surprisingly needs people, and people aren't available, so not surprising.
Thank goodness that most things are digital now, because they ain't got to wait for freight for that.
Exactly. As long as you have the console in your house, just, pay basically out the nose for a decent internet connection, you should be fine.
I guess the question I have for
you guys... Oh, sorry.
There you go. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, so do you guys think that since these are all original Xbox games, that's all they're going to release? Or is that all that leaked because it was in the same, I don't know, wherever they kept their original Xbox data, and there's 360 stuff coming too?
I mean, I don't... We've brought it up a few times, right? Because, do you still have any, non-backwards compatible, not completed games that you need to work on? Or have you basically all done and dusted there?
5 pages of TA stuff,
they're
yes.
all over there.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
a whole bookcase.
Right. Yeah, so I've still got about 40 or so 360 non-backwards compatible games I need to go back and finish. So I would love for them to all be added, but we've kind of gone over it before. It's like part of the reason is that most of the stuff got added that they could add, and anything that didn't get added was probably for licensing reasons or for some sort of ambiguity around who owns the rights.
Might even just be technical issues with their upscaling and all that.
With the emulation.
The emulators, yeah.
Yeah, because there's only so much they can do. I mean, I would love it. They did say that they moved that entire team onto making sure that all the Xbox One games were backwards compatible for the series consoles. But I mean, that work should be done by now, considering all those games are out. So I've always been hopeful that they'd go back to it. So there are definitely I would love to have Sacred 2 and was it Borderlands pre-sequel and a bunch of other stuff that would just be nice to have on the Xbox on backwards compatible to the series consoles, just so I don't have to. I've still got my 360 hooked up, and I fucking hate having to deal with it, but it is.
Yeah, mine too. Right next to my Series S.
Yeah, I'm going to be spending all fucking weekend doing Fear 2 because I'm trying to get that finished. That's been my big grind over the weekends.
Oof. Have fun with that.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of what I would actually want to be brought forward, but most of the stuff that I keep my 364 is
Max Payne 3. Yeah,
most of the stuff I keep my
360
364 is DJ Hero and all the peripherals kind of stuff.
Yeah, the peripheral stuff kind of makes sense, and I can kind of see why they can't bring that stuff across, or it would be very difficult for them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know nobody else is going to agree with me, but I would really like them to take another roll at a fitness game.
I mean, it could happen.
I mean, I play Just Dance, so yeah, no, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of keeping consoles for peripherals, jeez.
Yeah. I need to go back.
As soon as that moves completely to series, I'm done with that series.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I've got the I got the one Kinect game, but Kinect Adventures that I have to do, but.
Oof. Also have fun with that.
I've got way too many up there.
Yeah, it was what I've told the story before, but I bought a Kinect and video chat before I had a laptop and Skype was a big thing, and this was on the 360. So I bought it to video chat, and then I was like, well, I got a game with it, I should probably try it at least. And I fucking started it years ago, and I'm like, well, this game's absolute fucking trash, and I hate every moment of it. But I'm gonna have to enlist some help with it, so I need to get some people into the house to basically jump in front of the screen for a bit and hit the balls or whatever the fucking stuff you have to do is.
I know one that I would really like to see come towards the backwards compatibility. Clive Barker's Jericho.
That game's so
it's so old.
It's so easy to finish though. You can run through it on 360 and be done with it.
I know. I've always had it. I've never.
True.
I've had it for so long because it was just one of those I guess kid moments where I looked up and I'm like, this looks violent as hell. This is badass. I bought it in a garage sale ages ago, and I've just never touched it.
Oh, you should do it. It's a fun little game. I mean, it's incredibly easy. You basically you just pick the best character. You just start using the left trigger ability to just blow everything up, and the game basically plays itself. But it was one of those early days of the early 360 games that were easy. That everyone was like, oh, it's like that and Avatar: The Last Airbender and King Kong.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have that would be awesome to see come. They added the. I'm pretty sure it was confirmed that they're adding the. No, it was an old article. The Rockstar stuff.
Yeah, they never got done. Yeah, so
Max
like,
Payne 3.
Max Payne
Max
3.
Payne 3.
Yeah, Max Payne 3, exactly. And like obviously,
Please.
Max Payne 3 and table tennis. Yeah.
Connect Night Training Plus.
Oh God, no. I mean, I have like Army of Two and stuff. Like the Army of Two, the 40th day isn't backwards compatible for some reason.
Yeah.
Like that would
Close calls.
That would be really helpful to get that done. But yeah, because I can't finish it because that fucking mask achievement. But you know, there's a few
I was
bits and
about
pieces
to
where I'm just
start
like,
that when they turned that down. I was got stuck with that on my tag.
That would have been rough.
Is it backwards? Oh, okay, it is backwards compatible. I might do that next. Driver San Francisco.
Yep, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the Ubisoft stuff is
pretty good
like,
things.
Yeah, Drive San Francisco is a great game. But yeah, I mean, again, we could go on for hours about like stuff we want on our wish list. I'm really hoping we'll at least see something because it would be cool for them to be like, hey, you know, we're still working on this and we still have a team for this, you know, because also what is that team doing otherwise? Like they have a backwards.
They could be working on getting the cloud stuff over.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm sure they'll be working on some XCloud stuff, making sure that works.
Because they got I guess most of those rare titles and all that working through that, but I don't know what the extent is with the rest of the cloud stuff.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think 360 games only recently got added to cloud, didn't they? I mean,
Yes.
fairly recently.
Probably like
so that might be what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in terms of for the streaming service at least. Yeah. All right.
What's this?
Oh, here's hoping.
What's this Wales interactive?
Yeah. Okay. So you know, on the Hall of Gamers podcast, we're a big fan of the F&V game, right?
Yeah, Late Shift is good. Shape-shifting detective.
Yeah.
Quality.
So imagine a game that is not really a game, but it's not really a TV show, but it's not really an F&V game. I've just unhelpfully described Bloodshore, which is a basically Squid Game was very popular, so now they've decided, well, we're going to do this thing. I mean, obviously it was probably in production long before this, but Bloodshore is an interactive action movie about a televised battle royale between high-profile streamers, entertainers, and death row inmates. You control the fate of Nick, a washed-up actor who fights for his life-changing cash prize. All is not what it seems in this latest season of Kill/Stream, the hottest reality TV show on the planet. Can Nick uncover the truth about Bloodshore's island before his time runs out? I mean, I watched the trailer for it. It looks like the cheesiest fucking thing in the entire world.
How much cringe?
No, what?
So it's another Wales interactive joint. Again, I just kind of wanted to talk about it because they basically pitched it as like, oh, it's a battle royale but an F&V game. I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna do that? But yeah, like, you know, it looks like you have your choices, you influence the story. I'm sure it'll be fine. It comes out on the 3rd, so it's like 3 weeks away. But I think this is a day one purchase for me if it comes out. I'm not sure if it's coming to the Xbox platforms. I'm hoping it does because most of the Wales games do. But I'll play it. We love the F&V games. It just looks. I was just like, oh yeah, battle royale. It's like, okay, well, 100 of us jump out of a plane. It's like, do you floss or do you do the Running Man? Here's your choice, and you have like a limited time to choose it before you get killed. But yeah, I would advise everyone go watch the trailer because it's cheesy as fuck, and I kind of love it. Maybe we should start talking about FMV games on Lights, Camera, and Action when we get to that.
We probably should actually.
They are essentially just movies.
Like, let's find the earliest FMV
right?
game we can and play it.
Plumbers Don't Wear Ties is
Night
one
Trap.
of the earliest ones. Night Trap is another good one. Yeah, Night Trap for sure. And then
Never heard of these things.
That's on Xbox One, isn't it?
Night Trap.
So.
It was on PlayStation. I don't know if they ported it over to the Xbox.
I think it.
Is it?
I'm honestly counting down the days until Netflix says they're acquired Wales Interactive.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say as well. As we talked a little bit about how Netflix is buying up every single studio ever. To
I mean, it
start a
just
games
makes
division.
sense though. Like,
I don't know. I mean, Shane, do you play a lot of like FMV games or any of that sort of stuff? I mean, you said you play a couple of easy games here and there.
I've done. What was it called? Night Shift.
Night Shift.
And
Yeah.
I think I have It's like She Sees or something like that installed.
She Sees Red?
What it's called.
She See Red. Fuck, that game is bad.
Yeah, that one.
That's awful.
I have it installed. I've been meaning to do it because it's just fun though for my family to watch me play them.
What is it? There's
I haven't done too many of them.
Shape-shifting detective. I saw Black Clouds.
Yeah, I saw Black Clouds,
which was recent.
The Complex, Poe Monroe.
I love Poe Monroe. It's
so
so weird.
Yeah, the Wales Interactive just keep pumping them out.
Gamer Girl.
They really do.
Yeah, well, Gamer Girl didn't end up actually
I know.
happening, but yes. And then The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker.
I need to get around to that one.
That's a cool one.
Shape-shifting detective is really good.
Yeah, but yeah, I think like it's kind of a fun thing that I always enjoy when I see them come up because I'm like, oh, this is kind of like a different thing that you don't like. They're the only ones who really make those these days. So
I like the interactivity about them too. Like I'll sit down with Nikita and go like, what choice are we making?
Mm-hmm.
Like latest, it's not an FMB, but like Boyfriend Dungeon is what we were doing that with and just laughing at the decisions. But I like those kind of games. Yeah, that is a game.
It's on my list. So I enjoy a good visual novel as well, which I'll talk about when we get to what we've been playing. But yeah, again, there's not really much to say. I just thought it was kind of weird and funny, and like I just want people to go and watch the trailer for it. All right.
My mistake. Night Trap was going to come out for Xbox One, and then it got delayed and kind of disappeared.
It sucks. I remember it getting like a physical release on the PlayStation 4 or whatever, and everyone was like,
"Yeah, it looks like it came out for PS4 and PC in 2017." And then by 2018, the Xbox One version kind of just vanished, and obviously haven't heard anything since.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate.
Shame.
I would have loved to have played that. It's really cheesy and stupid.
All right.
So cheesy and stupid.
I'll quickly run through the Game Pass stuff.
Yes.
So Crisis Remastered came out on the 7th. Is the Procession to Cavalry?
Procession to Cavalry. Yep.
Came out on the 7th. Visage, I can never pronounce it.
Visage.
October 7th. Back for Blood, October 12th. Destiny 2 Beyond Light for the PC, October 12th. Ring of Pain, which I'll talk about in games that I played this week, came out yesterday. The Rift Breaker came out yesterday. The Good Life comes out today, which I need to play. And Echo Generation comes out on the 21st.
Cool. So some good stuff there. I'm looking at going back to playing Crisis Remastered, actually. I love the original.
And if you haven't played the games that were leaving, they're probably already left by now, so whatever.
Yeah, get on Scourgebringer. You got like a day to finish it.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, if that. So what have you been playing? Actually, you know what? We'll talk Shane. But Shane, what have you been playing?
I had to bring my list because I kind of forgot. I have been playing, obviously, all the stuff that I'm working on, like Microsoft Solitaire. I've been trying to pump that out. Just Dance, I play that every day for my workout. I guess the game I've really been playing is Castlevania Advanced Collection, which I heard you guys mention in your contest earlier.
Yes.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's fun. I really enjoy it. I love the Castlevania games, and I actually played Circle of the Moon back on the Game Boy Advance and the sequel to Aria of Sorrow on the DS. So I was psyched to play this, and my best friend actually bought it for me because I don't play new games. Even if I want to play them, I won't play them. Even if I buy them, I won't play them. So she bought it for me. So now I kind of have to play it. So I'm excited.
Like this amazing game that I'm playing at the moment that I so
play it.
So you get guilted. You're like, well, I feel like I have to play it because someone bought it for me and they spent money. And then can you imagine someone buying me like Kingdom Hearts and like I didn't play it for like 6 months and they're like, hey, how's Kingdom Hearts going? And I'll be like, who are you again? New phone, who dis?
I mean, to be fair, my wife bought me Red Dead 2 like after it came out, and I still haven't played that.
I played like 5 minutes of it. And I'm just like,
bad about
yeah,
that one.
I haven't got time for that.
That's a long one, though.
It's very long.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta get on those horse genitalia.
You can stop the sentence there. I'll just use that for clip of the week. That's fine.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
The level of detail.
I did some of the games that were leaving Game Pass, like AI, Scourgebringer, and Night in the Woods, Eichenfell. Yeah, a lot of my games recently have been Game Pass leaving games because they're looking good. I did AI, the Somnium Files.
Oh man, yeah. So I saw you'd played that, so I went and played it as well. What did you think?
That was a funny game.
It's a weird game, right?
I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I mean, like you mentioned visual novels. I love those kind of games, but they're usually in Japanese and I don't speak Japanese. So, I mean, that's what this is. I mean, it's the same kind of game. But man, I was laughing. It was a stupid funny game. It's super pervy. You play as a pervy detective with a ghost hot chick in your eyeball, being followed around by a 18-year-old high school streamer idol girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's so anime and so ridiculous, and then it gets super dark, and it's like,
Oh yeah,
that took a turn.
I mean, like, yeah, you're investigating a murder, so like it swings back and forth so fast, I get whiplash. It's crazy.
Yeah, like at one point he's making this 18-year-old girl in high school, I might add, say I like them big, and laughing about it, and then the next scene just horrific murders. It's like
someone gets their eyeball
happened?
gouged
That's
out.
whiplash.
Like it's like holy shit.
Yep. Oh yeah, yeah. If you don't like eyeballs being gouged out, not the game for you.
Yeah, 100%. Anything else?
Yeah, like I said, I did Scourgebringer. That was pretty fun actually. I'm surprised. I was really worried about doing that, but again, once I start a game, I'm gonna do it. So I jumped on, and sure enough, it was actually not bad. But yeah, I played Assassin's Creed Chronicles. Finally finished that series. Finished Russia. Working on Terraria. Got those achievements again.
Right.
Freaking garbage.
Would you
lend me that sword, right?
I was gonna say, would you recommend the Chronicles stuff for Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, they're cool. I mean, did you play Mark of the Ninja?
No.
You should.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely should.
I've never actually heard of
Assassin's Creed Mark of the Ninja.
Yeah, it's Mark of the Ninja, but without Mark of the Ninja is so fucking good.
It's better than the Chronicles versions for sure.
Oh, 100%.
But they're passable. I mean, they're fun, and they get easier as they go. So if you can get through, what's the first one? China.
Yeah.
Then
China's
they just
the
get
hardest
easier
one.
as they go. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I started China when it was Games with Gold ages ago. I was like, wow, this is actually like kind of challenging. And then I was like, oh, I'll do India. And I was like, oh, actually, this one was okay. And then I did Russia and basically just breezed through it. And so
Russia, you just breeze through if you can do the other two.
Yeah, so then I went back and did China. I was like, okay, I better finish this now.
And they've all been Games of Gold, yeah?
No, I think only...
I'm sure two of them have.
I think at least two of them for sure.
I think India and... Yeah, maybe. They might have all been at this stage, but yeah, I've already gone and played them already.
Well, yeah, I guess I own them. I don't buy games often, so they must have been.
Interesting.
I guess I could look at my Xbox. I mean, it's right here. I was playing before you guys called me, so 2 in the goddamn morning.
I was dedicated to the craft, exactly.
Oh yeah, no, it's China, India, and Russia all in gold.
Oh,
so.
All right.
So you don't have them. It's your own fault.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else? Anything else recently that stood out?
No, not really. I'm kind of probably working on Max Payne 3 here again soon, and go through the ordeal of picking a new game.
Right. Yeah. Just you cut the head off a chicken and it runs, and wherever it falls over, you basically just like, okay, that's the one.
Sometimes it takes me like hours to pick a new game. Sometimes.
But
just in the list, like, oh, I don't know.
Like,
what do I want to do?
What's coming to Game Pass? That's usually what I check.
Yeah.
That's been easy lately. It's like, oh, what's leaving Game Pass? Yeah, sure, I'll do that. That works.
See, nobody else does it like me and plays games when they're entering Game Pass.
No!
It's all when they're leaving.
No,
AI.
Yeah, I did AI,
okay.
But that was...
Yeah, fair point.
But yeah, exactly.
That was a rare occurrence, though, to be fair.
Yeah,
it does look interesting.
Because I love the guy's other work with like Zero Escape and that whole weird trilogy of stuff that I really hope comes to Xbox at some stage, but it probably never will.
Someday.
But I'm hoping that like he makes more of this weird shit because that's his brand. Is he makes weird, pervy, strange characters in like horrific situations.
So pervy, so pervy.
When you click on the receptionist, it just says there's a receptionist with
huge
huge breasts.
I was just thinking
desk.
about that.
Yeah, and then the next time you click on it, it says there's a receptionist with huge breasts, and then you click on it again, it says huge breasts behind that desk, and then just huge breasts. You're like, okay,
huge breasts.
Right, huge breasts. Okay, it's very Japanese, I will say. Let's leave it at that.
Very Japanese. Yeah. Very otaku.
Cameron, what about you? What have you been playing?
Where do I begin? I've been doing a little bit more Hot Wheels Unleashed, which is basically just same thing. Nice little cars from my childhood, playing with them and getting races done. realistically, I haven't played that much this week. It's been mostly me and Toddy just boosting as much Forza Horizon 1 and 2. So I have 2 achievements left in 2, and I have 4 or 5 left in 1.
Mm-hmm.
Been using, getting his help for the car club stuff, which is basically just, you've done it before, Matt, going and doing 1 medal and then moving on to the next car.
It's just repetitive.
It's just repetitive, yeah. Like it's still better than 2, but
To be fair, all driving games are just repetitive. You just get in the car and drive for it.
I can't wait to get the series completed and actually just move on with my life, and yeah.
Until the fifth
Until
game
5,
comes out.
5th one, anything
Yeah,
past 3 is
5.
enjoyable though. Like 1 and 2 are just bare bones of the series. They're great games, but they're very tedious.
The series has evolved a bit as time has gone on, for sure.
I just can't wait to get in when 5 comes out and ruin some people with Eliminator, which would be great. Saying that, Nikita's parents gave me my birthday present early, which was some EB gift cards. So I don't have to worry about any of the DLC for Forza Horizon 5 or any of the DLC for Project Cars 3, which is great. So I've been using that for them.
Mm-hmm.
Games I have played this week. Ring of Pain. I played Slay Spire when I did the Hall of Fame challenge, and I could appreciate it what it was, but it just it was mediocre to me. Which I know that everybody else that's played Slay the Spire absolutely loves it. Ring of Pain it feels like it takes that concept and moves it further.
Right.
It's essentially.
Does it move it further in a good direction or a bad
Yes,
direction?
it's like a card game, but a dungeon crawler.
Oh, okay.
So, it's like left or right, avoiding the cards kind of options. It's very difficult, as those kind of games are. But I played for about an hour and a half last night, got 20 achievements out of the 100 that they've got. Some of the dungeons are really weird. You're talking to these strange creatures. You'll progress further, and then there'll just be a room full of puppies and frogs. And then there's an achievement to kill the puppies and frogs.
Oh.
It's just really weird. And then it's just all right, cool. There's another room of puppies and frogs. I have to kill all these. And then because I've killed all of them, this really, really bad boss comes out of nowhere and just demolishes you.
Oh,
I have no idea what this game is trying to teach me. But the game mechanics are fun, and it has that Undermine kind of feel of it, just one more run, one more run, one more run. But
so, as a sort of perspective, is it top down or side on? How does it kind of work?
You got 2 cards front on, yeah? So just say you got 2 enemies front on, you could choose to, if they're higher than you could try and move around them. Okay. Dodge in that kind of regard, and then you might get a potion that's behind them. It's like a rotating deck of cards in the center.
Oh, okay. Right.
So each of these decks will either have you do all your combat scenario, kill all the enemies in the room, stock up for whatever they've got, and then move on. Or you just have to get to the exit and then move on that way. Works off strength, defense, vision, and speed attributes.
Mm-hmm.
So then certain materials might give you a 4 boost for your attack and then reduce everything else by 1. I'm still trying to figure out if the best way is to balance your play as you're moving along, or if there's some matches I'm doing a full speed run and then just trying to push myself, faster, can avoid enemies better, move past it. But it's really interesting. It's really the gameplay is just hooks you because it's so simple. It's you can jump in and immediately know what you're meant to be doing, but then not know the strategy involved. So you probably get to 3-4 floors down in your first run, and then it's just past 6 and 7s where it just dumps that difficulty on you.
Right. So you get
one of those easy to play, hard to master games.
Yeah. Slay the Spire.
easy to pop an achievement and impossible to get all of them. Yeah, cool. My favorite.
Yeah. Just going through the
99 of them do.
Just going through the achievements that I did last night, like parry 50 creatures. You get items that help you, and they just automatically equip to your person, except for like the potions. So there's like reach a depth of 6, kill 100 creatures, kill a pupper, kill a cute harmless frog. Discovering the different paths, so it would actually tell you if you're discovering a new path with a question mark above it. Die to gravestones, because some of them will give you soul points, which you can use as currency, and then others will just poison you and just absolutely screw your run.
So is it a roguelite? So it's randomly generated?
Yeah, it's roguelite, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's like roguelite in the case. Like, I don't feel like I'm improving every run, but I know it's giving me extra items when I get back to the main screen. So it's like...
Interesting. Okay, so it's more like Ziggurat then.
I haven't played Ziggurat yet, so...
Difficult completion.
Yeah. I definitely think this one is going to be difficult, though. Just based off the list. Like, killing 20 different types of creatures in a single game. Dealing like 99 plus, like it might just be like Slay the Spires list. You might have to just get like really lucky in certain runs to get the completion.
Cool. So I don't need to play that then. That sounds horrific.
It's a good game to
it's
a good game to experience, but it's like a game that you would play on a alt account.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, and then Rocksmith's DLC for the original game is all getting delisted on the 17th of October.
Right.
So I went on a spending spree.
Oh God. Okay.
And I bought something.
What? Here we go.
If
he comes back with a puppet, I'm ending the podcast. It's done. We're like.
It's fine.
Wow.
No, thanks for having me on. That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. Last episode.
So little did I know, to get past to the buying option stuff in the store, in the original Rocksmith, you need to have a guitar plugged in.
Right.
What do you think I was missing?
A guitar, I'm assuming, is probably the key thing. So you went out and bought a guitar.
I went out and bought an electric acoustic guitar, and I've actually been sitting down and playing Rocksmith a little bit this week. And
I was going to say, do you know how to play a guitar?
I haven't played a guitar since I was like 14.
Cool. Okay, right.
And even then it was very...
You like me, realize there are much easier ways of picking up chicks. Like, way fucking easier.
I basically went like, all right, well, I'm going to be achievement hunting next year anyway. Like, what's something that I actually want to do? And I'm like, I'll give the Rocksmith completion a run for its money.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. All I need to do is learn one song really, really well, and then just repeat it.
Master Exploder by Tenacious D. That's the one.
But went out, had
Fire and Flames.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So the packs I got were, which very on brand for my music, but I'll just bring them. Where is it?
Probably never heard of them.
Blink 182, Maroon 5, Fall Out Boy, My Chemical
Never heard
Romance,
Yep.
Queen, Santana. Wait, is it? Am I saying that right? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Yes.
Because I just want to play Don't Fear the Reaper. Because it's one of my favorite songs of all time.
There's so many other better. Anyway, whatever. No, I'm not.
And The Cure.
Oh, The Cure. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's actually not a bad list.
Yeah. So I just
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
I went out, and apparently all the DLC transfers. So I went out and bought the 2014 edition too, to pass that all over. And I'm basically just going to be practicing with the old games a few days a week until the new one comes out next year.
All right. I mean,
Let's say, isn't there a new one coming?
Yeah, it was meant to come out this year, but then it got delayed.
Yeah, it was the whole thing where it's like it would work on like an app through your phone and stuff, so you could actually like play a real guitar and stuff. It was interesting. Like
now,
the trailer they showed for it was quite interesting.
Now, that fucking chord. So I went out, yeah. I bought. I went to the music shop, just like, all right, what's the best deal I can get, like for just an entry level guitar and all that. It's just like, this is our main one. It's $500. We're running it at like $399 at the moment. We'll chuck in the bag. We'll chuck in a tuner, even though it has a tuner on it, which is always.
It's good to have a tuner. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it has a tuner built into it. So
yeah,
it's
but like to be fair, the more that's built into it, the more they can break. So I would.
Okay, I guess.
It's good to have.
What else? And then just like, just everything else with it. So I went on and did all that. I got home. I digged out my real tone cable, whatever they call it, and it has a connector on it.
Yeah. Which
was missing.
Oh, I see.
Because the connector was what's the word? So the connector is one of those like L-shaped connectors that like the old 360 controllers used.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, where was my cord for that? And then I realized the only wired Guitar Hero controller that I have has that exact same connector, which a friend took from me back in New Year's of last year. So I rang him up and I'm just like, all right, I need my wired guitar back because I need to buy this DLC by the end of the week because I can't get past the setting up the guitar screen in this game without having this cable. He's like, okay, let me go and have a look for it. What do you think happened?
He's lost it or sold it or broken it.
The cable connector for the cord is missing.
Of course.
Because of course it is. So I'm just like, all right, cool. You need to buy me a new one of that. That's fine. He's like, all right, cool. I can probably like order it off Amazon. It'll be like a week and a half. I'm like, cool. Server closure, 17th. That's not going to work for me, buddy. So then go back out, go and buy an actual proper guitar cable to fix this, and then spend like $100 in DLC.
All right. Well, hey, at least
That was an adventure.
I was gonna say at least my spending habits are looking a lot better right now because I think Allison's watching, so that's good.
Yeah,
Do you see what this could be? Do you see how like this could have gone? Aren't you so glad that I don't fuck around with guitars? Yeah, okay, she's pretty happy. Okay, that's good. She's giving me the nod, so thank.
Nikita's just like, whatever makes you happy, just go out and get a job. I'm like, all right, cool.
Ouch.
I'm just like, well, I can't technically do that in a pandemic, but I'll stay in and get a job. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I did all that. Played a little bit of Thanks for the Memories, and what was the other one? Oh, and some My Chemical Romance, which is pretty fun. And yeah, I actually sat with it for an hour and actually really enjoyed it. So I'm glad I made those decisions, even though it does not look really well on my wallet.
Yeah, no, I bet.
But yeah, so basically $450 for the week, and hopefully can get the Horizon series completion by the end of next week.
All right, good luck.
If that Rivals achievement can actually fucking unlock. But yeah.
I got a couple of games. Some is just the usual stuff that I've been working on, but the new one was the AI game, the Somnium Files. I would recommend it. I think anyone who likes like Japanese games and like story and stuff should definitely play it. You can do a blind playthrough. There's a guide, like I think PowerPix has a guide, but you don't really need it. Like what I would do is just do a blind playthrough and then just go back and pick up a couple of the miscellaneous achievements because you can go back to exactly any spot that you've been in the game. To understand the game, it branches off based on decisions that you make and goes into like completely different routes in like a visual novel way. But because there are certain things that you need to learn things in certain paths before you can do them in other ones. And so like the game kind of acknowledges the fact that it's impossible to keep any of this shit straight. Because it's like one part like is like really brutal and like a lot of people die and shit. And one of them is like, oh, this is bad, but like other stuff happens. And so it's like, there's a part where it's like, oh, hey, you knew about this. How did you know about it? And you're like, I knew about it because, actually, I don't know how I knew about it. And I'm like, I was like, you know about it because we did it in an alternate playthrough. And for some reason, this game just is like, yeah, we don't expect you to keep like the whole, Always Sunny, like string board Pepe Sylvia thing, trying to figure it out. It's like, no, we just acknowledge that you're going to have
Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah, it's so good. Like you have he's talking about Pennsylvania. That's the funniest thing to me. Anyway, so like it allows you to like kind of like cheese it a bit and be like, oh, you have knowledge of other realities, like parallel universes exist, and they like acknowledge this fact because it would be impossible otherwise. Like it literally has like a cork board of like routes and like string and stuff going towards each other for all the routes that you can do. But I had a really good time with it. Like I stayed up late playing it because I was just so curious. I'm like, this game jumps the shark in the first 5 minutes and then just keeps jumping over it, keep doing like backflips and shit. Because it's like fucking, don't worry about it. You have like an AI in your fucking eye and like shit's gonna get weird and there's like a whole murder plot, and also you like a 12-year-old lives with you for some reason and it's not weird, but like, okay, like what's going on? But also she can like bench press like 200 kgs easy.
She sure can.
And she fucking like kicks a tree over and shit. I'm like, this is anime as fuck. I love it. It's real, like it's
it ends with a dance sequence. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, and then yeah, it literally ends with a dance sequence. I like. And one of my favorite things was when you finish the game, you get the true ending, you get the dance sequence. It just adds a menu item that just says dance, and you could just go to it at any time, and you can make the characters dance. No reason, no achievements, just cool, done. So I would highly recommend it. It starts with an A, so it'll be at the top of your Game Pass list. Definitely get on it. It's fucking ridiculous. You can get it done in like 15, 16 hours, I think. Like I mean, if you skip through all of it, you'll get it done really, really fast. But
yeah, if you're an achievement hunter, you can actually turn off the dialogue more or less, and
pretty much
it'll just blow through. Yeah,
but the story is like it needs to be seen to be believed. Yeah, it kind of reminds me a little bit of like a weird like Phoenix Wright style, like because you have kind of like action sequences, talking sequences, and then like investigation sequences. So it kind of like goes between those.
Yeah, it's pretty bare bones though.
It's very bare bones. Like there's not a lot of gameplay.
Yeah. If you're not there for the story, you're definitely gonna be disappointed.
Yeah. Also, speaking of visual novels, I play Doki Doki Literature Club. I know. I'm like
weeb.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Look. I know I'm like super. Like I super missed the boat on this one, and like this is super old news. But man, that game fucking goes places. I'm not going to say anything about it. I just say if you have any interest in visual novels in general, and you like this game is an interesting subversion of them. Both in a like way that they present the story and content, but also in like a meta way of how people play visual novels and how the characters work and that kind of stuff. So I don't want to say any more than that because I'd be giving too much away. My only real issue with it is that there's not a lot to it. Like most visual novels aren't like massively like you have like the like half an hour ones that you can just speed through that are just like crap ratalaika ones, and then you've got like the ones that are like Fate Stay Night and like real interesting weeb shit that people love. This is kind of in the middle where it's like it doesn't have a lot of content to it. Like you have to replay a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of interesting little things in it that you can easily miss. There is a content warning for this game for a reason. But it's hard because I know when it originally came out on PC, it didn't have any of that. Basically, it was just like you go in there, you play it, and then shit happens. You're like, wow, this is like not what I expected at all. And it was like an interesting surprise. But now it's like on the console, anyone can play it. They put that shit in there being like, there are spoilers here if you want to see them. But like, you just have to acknowledge that like this game goes places. I would highly recommend it, but it is very much not for kids. Not a kid's game. So get the kids out of the room with this because, whatever. It touches on a lot of stuff. I want to talk about...
Is it worse than people letting their kids watch Squid Game at the moment?
Actually, probably yes.
Okay.
But like it touches...
My kids love Squid Game, thank you.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. May have to never speak to me or my squid son ever again. Yes, if you have access to it, play it. Don't just, you can skip through it, but just actually play through it. It's not very long. I got it done in about 8 hours or so.
Is there cutscenes?
It's a visual novel, so it's all just text. It's just text.
So just skip everything.
You literally can skip just about everything, but like it's it plays with the experience of playing a visual novel. Yeah. But again, I've said way too much because I want to really talk about it, and I want to get people to play it and talk to me about it and what they thought about it. On the total other end of the spectrum, I have been playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Japan version.
So good.
Holy shit, is this still one of the greatest games ever made? I played Symphony of the Night back on the 360, like back in like 2007. Like it was one of the first games I played because it was on Xbox Live Arcade. It came out with a demo. It was like the $5 thing, and like I used to get like $20 a week for my allowance when I was a kid when I was like 15.
Spoil.
And so I would exclusively use that, and I would buy a new arcade game every week, basically. So like I did that with like Heavy Weapon. I think was like my first ever completion, for example, and like that was quite tough for me as a kid. But so that's kind of how I like started building my library of games, and suddenly here we are, all these years later. So Symphony of the Night, like I love that game going back, and I was like, I want to go back to it. I started it up. It's in Japanese. The text was a little hard. Like I couldn't, like the menu text was in Japanese, but I kind of remembered how it worked. There were some good guides at least, but I was like, I don't know if I want to struggle through this again. I don't really remember a lot of the game because it's been so long. And having the thing being in Japanese is going to make it hard to translate. But the game is kind of more about wandering around and just kind of figuring out your own shit. It's so good. It might be the best one they ever did, and they kind of nailed it immediately. I mean, it's also really easy for the most part. The bosses are trivial once you know what to do. You become overpowered really quickly. And if you know where some of the secret rooms are and stuff, you can pick up weapons that just make the game a cakewalk, except for a couple of one or two of the bosses that are slightly challenging. The second playthrough with Richter is a lot more difficult, but that you can also do that in a
lot more difficult.
You can do that in 30 minutes if you know what you're doing. It took me about 45. But it's so good. I'm so happy I went back to it because people were talking about Castlevania recently. With the Advanced Collection, and then I also started playing the Harmony of Dissonance with Charlotte, and we need to get a group together for that because I played Harmony of Dissonance, and I was it was fun to play with Charlotte, and I was this is a cool game, but I'm not getting the Castlevania feeling from this, I'm not getting the leveling or the exploring and stuff because it's on a timer, you can see the whole map. It's a lot more puzzly and combat-y, and I was do I just remember Castlevania wrong? I was no, it's just a different kind of game. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is exactly what I want in video games, and it's still.
Oh, do you mean Harmony of Despair?
Oh, sorry, yes, Harmony of Despair. Sorry, Harmony.
Let's say I'm playing Harmony of Dissonance on the Advanced Collection. I was wait,
yes, sorry, yes, I'm
right.
getting them mixed up. Yes, Harmony of Despair rather. The multiplayer one.
Yeah, that's I always thought of it as World of Warcraft Castlevania because it's just about loot. You're supposed to go grind loot,
just about
fight
loot
bosses,
and grinding.
stronger.
And I'm kind of enjoying it, but it definitely needs to be played with a bunch more people. The whole idea of it is just swarming the enemies. But
yep.
But this has made me go. Actually, maybe I need to pick up the Advanced Collection because I played, I missed out on the GBA stuff, but I got into was it Dawn of Sorrow? Was the DS one?
Dawn of Sorrow is so good.
It's really good.
Yes.
I still think the original Soma one, but what was the original one? The one that's before it.
Raya of Sorrow.
Cry of Sorrow, yeah, which I think is still better, but I think Dawn of Sorrow is still great, and Portrait of Ruin as well, which is also a fantastic game.
Mm-hmm.
So I played those back on the DS back in the day and love those. I'm maybe I should go back to them. And I love Bloodstained. Bloodstained is fantastic. So I'm probably going to go back to Bloodstained Circle of the Moon. I started that but dropped off for some reason. But yeah, I just I had the itch to play a Metroidvania, and this was the perfect one to do it with. So highly, highly recommend it. If you haven't for some reason played it, you can get it for $5, I think. So play it in English is probably the best way to do it, but it's still great game. And then just I finished that and I wasn't really sure what to play. I've been playing a lot of Solitaire as well. So I decided to play Death's Door.
Yes!
Because I know Cameron absolutely fucking loved this game. And he's game of the year, game of the year, game of the year. So I don't know how far I'm in, maybe about three hours in. I've just got the second power up. It's a good game.
But
I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I find that the combat is decent. The exploration's okay. The environments are all right. The story is all right. It's a solid game. It's a solid 7 out of 10. It's well made. It's got I like the art direction, but the story leaves a lot to be desired. It's really, really bare bones. The combat is just kind of not great. It's fine, but it's kind of overly simplistic. It kind of does a little bit of a Dark Souls thing without fully committing. It kind of feels like a mix between an old Zelda title, like one of the older Zelda titles with not as many secrets, not as many interesting things going on, not a lot to discover. Where it feels more like the original Zelda, where it's you go into dungeons, there isn't really a lot of preamble, you just kind of wander around and find things and keep moving forward, and eventually you find new items. Maybe it gets a bit better. Again, I'm still it doesn't. Not every game needs to be some big, epic, massive experience, right? But yeah, I think it's a good game, and I think people should probably play it. But I think it's probably a wait for it to end up in Game Pass game. I'm only I'm not super far into it. I'm only I've only done one. I'm kind of at the end of the second area.
I mean, if you're only at the end of the second area, the story does tie in nicely at the end. Or at least it did for me.
Yeah. So I mean, I still got to beat up a lot of bosses, and there's a lot to explore, and I know that you get power ups to go back to places like an old Metroidvania style stuff. So I'm interested to see where it goes, but yeah, I'm not super feeling it yet.
I just like personally myself, I just felt like the pacing was right for it in terms of like, I most games I just want like a bit of a 10-hour experience.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Like that's kind of what I'm usually in for these days as well. Like Symphony of the Night was kind of perfect for that. Like it took me like 7.5 hours to do the main campaign to get the 200.6%, and then like another maybe 45 minutes to an hour to do the second playthrough.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of where I'm at with the games for now, anyway. Except for The Witcher 3, which I'm still putting a lot of time into every now and then. At the moment, I'm trying to hunt down people who've been turned into pigs. It's been quite an interesting quest. But yeah, so we'll see. I'll report back a bit more about Death Stranding. I'm going to try and finish it this weekend, and we'll talk a little bit about it next week.
Doing the Umbrella run?
Yes, I'm doing the Umbrella run, which is definitely making the game a lot harder.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, like doing half as much damage to all the enemies. Sucks.
You wait to get to the final boss.
Yeah,
it's like Steven was in a party with me that whole time, and it was just like, all right, banging my head against the wall.
Great, got that to look forward to. It's only got like a 1.6 in ratio as well, which surprises me. But maybe just not a lot of people have played it.
Yeah, possibly.
Is it top down like old Zelda games? You mentioned that.
Kind of, it's like isometric.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah,
oh,
so
okay.
it's like isometric fixed camera kind of moves with you. But like they also,
I know everyone was talking about it. I just don't know anything about it.
Yeah, like people went crazy. People were like loving it. Like people like Game of the Year, this kind of stuff. And like I definitely think it's a high quality title and definitely should be played. But in terms of the gameplay itself, it's also somewhat challenging. Like it's not like a breeze through it game. You need to you only have like 4 hits before you die. Like health pickups are quite limited. And when you die, you go back to like the start of an area. So it's like, but also it has the nice thing of like anything that you interact with the environment, like break down doors or like light braziers and stuff like that to like open doors and stuff or use keys, like that all stays open. So you get shortcuts. So it has a little bit of like sort of like a Dark Souls light feel to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, that's me for this week. 6,695.
Very nice.
You want to pull up our leaderboard for this week, Cameron?
Yep. So Mephisto must have realized that you've slowed down.
Yeah. He's taking the hint. Yeah.
He's like 12,395 for the week. We've got Mad Mike Forever on 11,310. And we have Mark B on 10,715. Very nice, guys.
That's
doing well.
And we have Odron at the bottom of the leaderboard because he wanted to shout out.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is he? I didn't actually check, but
he reckons he is. He might actually be.
It's probably a safe assumption. I'm sorry.
I mean, if he hasn't earned any achievements, that's probably a pretty safe way of ending up down there, right? We got 50 people on the list now, though, which is
we're at 4 people at 0 for the week.
Yeah, but I don't think Odrin's one of them. So
yeah, he is. He's wise Chalice.
Is that Odrin? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's right. Of course. Yeah. Come on, earn some achievements, guys. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Yeah, exactly right. I don't know. Do we have any questions for the week? I don't think
Zach had one earlier from before. So
yes.
The range of games on offer during the Games of Gold program for October has, in a personal point of view, been pretty good. I was quite happy that Castlevania was one of those titles. So have you guys had to go at any of the current Games of Gold titles and, of course, overall thoughts? Or are you just going to wait until November?
Yeah, so I'm like I talked about. I'm playing Harmony of Despair. I already owned it, but like Charlotte hadn't played it, she hadn't owned it, so that's a good opportunity for her to play. And I want to get as many people on it as possible because it's a 6-player achievement that I need help with. I've also already played.
If you need help, let me know.
What he's saying is he's going to use you for that one achievement and then dump you on the side of the road.
No, definitely not. I want people to run through the entire game with me, especially if you have an overpowered character and can break it, because that the Castlevania games of that ilk are the time-honored tradition of getting the most overpowered bullshit in the game and just breaking it wide open. Symphony of the Night has like the Chrysogrim, which is a sword that attacks as fast as you can push the button, and you just basically fucking hammer it.
Does good damage too,
and you can walk while using it. So you can basically you just become like a wall of death. And then like even what was it? Like Bloodstained has shit like that too, where it's like you have another weapon that's based on that, where you just hold it down and just like speed through the levels. and like you can change the gravity to just fly like down towards stuff and just rip through enemies. So yeah, I love those games, but it's all about getting overpowered shit. So yeah, I'm playing through Harmony of Despair. I played Mulaka back when it came out. I bought it on sale years ago. Really, really cool game. I definitely recommend it. Like it kind of has like a sort of Ocarina of Time style, like on a much smaller scale, 3D Zelda style game with dungeons and some relatively basic but interesting combat, and like a really interesting sort of folklore story and mythology behind it. Also, lots of cool like upgradable collectibles and that kind of stuff. And I've also the ones coming out. I haven't played Hover. I don't really know much about it, but I have played Code Veronica, Resident Evil. I'm about halfway through my playthrough. I got to Antarctica, but that game sucks. It's rough going back to it. Like it's really rough. And like I played it because
it's funny too because the game cover art has like now in HD.
Yeah, now in HD exactly. It's like it was a Dreamcast game back in the day. So yeah, that's a hard one to go back to because it has the tank controls and I'm not a fan. But yeah, I'm like the games with gold stuff. Like most of the time, it's stuff that I already own because like I have a big collection. But most of the stuff that comes to it, like I always look at it. I'm always like, oh, okay, it's interesting. I'll put it in the list. I mean, why not?
Like stuff the last few months has been stuff that hasn't necessarily been in my backlog, or if it has been, I've owned like one or two of the games. So, I mean, I'm just glad we're not getting OG Xbox games at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But, what do you think, Shane?
I of course loved Harmony of Despair. I completed that a while ago. Yeah. Also, I'm not touching Resident Evil Code Veronica X. My achievement hunting partner has been trying to get me to do that series for a long time, and I just no, thank you. Those tank controls are awful.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of the one games lately have been indie titles, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Like games that I probably would never touch or know about, so that's cool. I like Malaka. I played a little bit on my alt tag. That's not bad. I'll probably play it at some point. All the 360 titles I've grabbed. I grabbed them all. I don't know if I'll ever play them or not, but I was really happy everyone got Harmony of Despair finally. As I like that game a lot. I really enjoyed it. So I was really happy that everyone got to grab it. And of course, since there is a 6-player achievement, everyone can work together to get that too. I'm really sad that I lost my save forever ago on that one because I loaded it up recently because I bought the DLC too. There's no achievements for it, but I wanted it. It's really fun. And yeah, I loaded it up recently to just kind of hang out and play. I'm like, oh, my save is so long gone. That's a bummer. I did have all the cool. I had the weapons that I could just fly through the levels. I had all the best souls for Soma. Yeah. Who do you main in that, by the way?
I wanted to do Alucard, but like all of his stuff is late game gear that you need. So I'm like, well, I don't know. I was thinking about that, but I was doing the one from Order of Ecclesia. What's her name?
Oh, what's her name? Yeah, I know, but
Shanona.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how they made Shanoa. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I like how they made each character have their abilities and such like that.
Yeah,
so.
Like they did actually a pretty good job of that.
I loved Sorrow.
Charlotte's playing Charlotte, unsurprisingly. Who's actually super overpowered once you get her spells. But yeah, like we're having a good time with it. We finished the first area and we got to the second one and kind of got fucked up by the Iron Maidens. But
yeah, that takes a turn quick.
Yeah, I was like, oh cool, like a boss fight. He just chucks a guy into the Iron Maiden and suddenly you take like 100 damage and die immediately. Like, oh, okay, cool, need to avoid that. Good to know. So yeah,
that's the one boss in the game where you either have to be OP by that point or you have to have more people to help because otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah, so
it is a hard stop.
And it's the second boss, so I think we're gonna need a posse together and just maybe we'll round up the AHA team and fucking news team assemble that shit and just wreck them. All right.
Yeah, Games of Gold I thought has been cool. I haven't had most of them they've given recently, so.
I'm glad they're still doing it. I know there was a lot of talk about them just getting rid of it at some stage, but yeah, we'll see.
That would sound like more like people just, I don't know, just wringing their hands and worrying about nothing because I don't think it's even been hinted at by Microsoft.
Not really.
So.
No, and like we're already almost a year into the next console, and it shows no sign of slowing down. So why not just keep going?
Yeah, I'm curious.
We've just jinxed it. Tomorrow they'll make an announcement.
Yeah, tomorrow it's gonna come.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
I was gonna say I wonder when they're gonna start. I was gonna say I wonder when they're gonna start adding series games, but I guess that's not really quite a thing yet.
There aren't really any, right? Like I played one of them this week.
There's a couple.
Yeah, it was like the medium. I think is like.
Yeah, the medium. What else?
Yeah, medium. There's that
Bright
that
Memory.
one shooter game.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Bright
That
Memory.
game's garbage.
And then was it one of the trash games I played this week was Alveoli. I don't know the one where you're running in a wheel. It has like a series stack for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't. Sure.
Just,
Yeah, I think
just give
the-
us
most of
the
the series
series stack,
stacks.
yeah.
Yeah, most of them. Oh, and like Control has a series stack as well. So there's a few of them they did releases for them, but most of them are just getting like series updates.
Yeah.
Be interested to see what they do with The Witcher.
Is that getting a series update?
Apparently they're going to be working on
that'll
like,
be
a series
pretty.
version of it. Yeah, it'll be very pretty. Yeah, I'm playing that on like.
I heard that game was pretty before.
It was, and like I'm playing it on performance mode, and it still looks great. But having it running at 60 is just like so good.
Chef's kiss.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the show. If you want to get in contact with us, you can email us, hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Twitter @hallofgamerspod. Discord again, discord.io/realgamerscore. And Patreon, patreon.com/hallofgamers. Basically, you can write in questions to the show and we'll answer them on the next episode. We've got a whole channel for it on the Discord. Otherwise, email us, send it to us on Twitter. There's heaps of ways of getting a hold of us. Discord, and also if you're chatting with us live on the show and on Twitch, we can answer your questions right here and there. If you want to help out the podcast in other ways, you can subscribe to us on your platform of choice, leave us a review. Let us know you've left a review because there are too many platforms and we can't keep track of all of them, to be honest. Tell your friends. Word of mouth, as always, is always the biggest thing that get people into the show. I've spoken to a lot of people. I usually try and wedge it into all my boosting sessions that I do. Cameron usually goes with the approach of, "Hey guys, is now a good time for me to shill my podcast?" Whereas I try to make it a bit more organic and say, "Oh, hey, I'll talk about playing this with you guys on the podcast tonight." And they're like, "Oh, you guys do a podcast?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, me and another Hall of Famer."
See, I do it like that though, and then they don't respond, and I have to be like, "But did I tell you?"
Yeah. Billy Mays here. Yeah. Basically, just infomercial the shit out of it. But yeah, subscribe to us on your platform of choice. Retweet our tweets. Give us some money on Patreon. Any support. We could not do the show without our patrons, and we greatly appreciate them. Cameron, are you still reading them all out, or is this going to be, or have you just relegated?
Oh, sorry. No, just my hands like really fucking weird today. Anyway, sorry. On track.
Sorry.
So bringing up the list. Da 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 da. I don't know. Just make small chat. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Yep.
How about that?
Why is it not loading? God. All right. Cool. All right. So we have Lefty. We have G Spaceman. We have Admiral Awesome. We have Eldron. We have Keo. We have Todd. We have Moogle356. We have Charlotte, our amazing moderator. We have Kung Fu Skills. We have Hawkeye Barry, Hack and Pone, Cavalier07, Old Mate Clown, and Nick Loving Legend. Smash hit star of the super bad movie from 2007, I think. Anyway.
Something like that, yeah.
One of the only movies that I've ever probably seen.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's the one we don't have to do for Lights, Camera, and Action. Yeah, so again, we do really appreciate our patrons. We literally could not do the show without you guys. And I had a chat with a few people who were thinking about subscribing. So again, any support you guys can give, it really makes all the difference because it allows us to, hey, maybe if we get enough, I can do the word challenge more than once a month. If people
maybe if people tell me who they want to put on the show, I can get them on the show.
True. Yeah, it helps us get guests like a wonderful Firehawk here. If you want to get in contact with you, Cameron, what's the best place to find you?
I don't know. Leave me alone. Cool.
Fair. Cool. Easy. If you want to find me, you can find me on Neomaster on True Achievements, Xbox, Discord, that sort of stuff. Shane, what about you?
Firehawk D on YouTube, the Twitters, the Xbox. I'm Firehawk D _Xbox on Twitch because I think I made an account forever ago and forgot it. So that's taken. But yeah, you can find me on, I'm trying to do all the socials and such, and I stream and all that fun stuff.
TikTok?
So.
TikTok?
Huh?
TikTok?
I don't do the TikTok. No, I'm cool with that.
I want dancing. I want dancing TikToks.
Dancing, yeah. Just
He's thinking about it now.
I've had to twerk. I've had to do all that stuff on Just Dance.
Actually, that's a good question.
On.
Great question to close off the show. What's the most embarrassing Just Dance, I guess, routine that you've learnt?
God, I've had to do some kid ones, but I mean, I did have to twerk in the newer one I did, so that was great.
To close off the show, we have Shane doing Baby Shark.
Yeah, we get no. Yeah.
Oh, I had to do Baby Shark. That's
sorry.
fair.
That's the DMCA police. They're coming for us. Actually, I meant to ask this earlier in the show. Where did your gamer tag come from? Where did you get Firehawk from?
I used to do comic books as a kid, like really young, like middle school. Firehawk was my Power Ranger knockoff, more or less.
Cool.
I chose elements, so I had a fire, there was water, wind, all that stuff. I added the hawk later because again, Power Rangers evolved. So after a while, we got animal attributes. Which my alt tag is Water Monkey because that was my brother, and I stole it because he doesn't use it anymore.
I'm just glad that you've done Power Rangers and not what is it, Animorphs?
Beetleborgs.
I love the Animorphs and Beetleborgs. Thank you. So
Beetleborgs is great. That's what I grew up on.
I'm sorry, I just can't get past the horrible book cover art.
Oh, Animorphs is great.
That's the best part. What are you talking about? Jeez.
Yeah, and then like they had a little thing in the corner, so if you flick through the pages, it would slowly change into the person. It was so good.
Yeah, it was just perfect art. And then the D, when I got into college, I actually started a guide website where I would make guides for whatever game I was playing. I really liked doing that. I mean, I like doing when I can on TA too. And it was called Firehawk Data. And I think I tried to do Firehawk Data as my gamer tag when I started, but it may not have fit. Or something like that. Or I just thought that didn't make sense, so I just turned it to D. So it's Firehawk D. Because some loser has Firehawk and I can't get it.
Yeah, right. That was the same for me.
Looking up, there's so many Firehawks.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, clearly it's gonna be like all one word. And then I typed in fire and I'm just like, oh my god, like no.
Well, I've already got the title for this episode, so you guys are gonna enjoy that when it comes out.
Oh god. Just
good.
remember, I can see in advance.
It's one of my favorite puns that I've done so far. Anyway, thank you all for joining us, and thank you so much, Shane, for being here and being our guest. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for pushing Phil Spencer and Stallion to have me on. I really appreciate it.
Well, I mean, hey, look, we thought about it, but we were like, hey, you know what? Like, we really want that groundswell of someone who actually completes games is the key thing. Because we've had too many guests on who are just like, oh yeah, I started all these games and never finished them, and I'm slowly dying inside.
I mean,
so I needed someone.
We could get Phil Spencer on where we could just talk about Destiny 2, and that would be the whole show. Sure.
We're talking about PlayStation the whole time. Anyway. Thank you all for joining us. And sorry, I should also say thank you, Charlotte, for monitoring the chat and just being a great. I almost forgot. Well, to be fair, you already thanked her, but I want to thank her as well because she's great and she does a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it.
We're gonna have a conversation about thanking Charlotte now.
Yes. All right, now. Cool. Thank you for joining us. We will catch you guys next week. Not peace, because I got told that peace is a lame thing to say. Goodbye.